the stickers.
My name is Jack. I've been GMing games, RPGs for a long time, and I've been playing Genesys for pretty much since it came out. I love this setting that we're going to be playing in, and I'm looking forward to getting to know. So if everybody just introduce yourself by whatever name you want me to call you, and what your character's name is. So, Dynode.
Okay. So, I'm a character. Hi, I'm Dynode, and I have also been playing Genesis for close to as long as that, or rather, I've had the rule book, but until fairly recently, the only opportunity I had to actually play was with my siblings, and even then, not very often. That said, I have recently started GMing, and for quite a while, I've also been writing my own setting. I'm getting close to the end, but, still a few things to take care of. Now, in character, fear not. I am Samiyaza, a lesser seraphim of the heavenly host. We have been brought to this place, same as everyone else, for the sole purpose of containing the human threat beneath.
All right, thank you. You'll have plenty of time to exposit in character if the moment arises. Jim.
Okay.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jim. I've been playing role-playing games for only a few years actually. 2018 was when I got started. Most of my experience has been with the Star Wars system, but kind of comfortable enough with the narrative dice as a kind of general concept. And this afternoon I'll be playing Axel Plant, the aspiring rock star giant.
Excellent, thank you. Shayla.
All right. So I go by Shia.
Sure.
It's all right.
you.
I've been playing for a while now, maybe about 5 years. I started in the Star Wars system, and now I play in both Star Wars and Genesis. My kind of fun Genesis projects. My labor of love is we play Pokemon, and I've done wacky stuff like Christmas games and things like that. Today's character is going to be ALY554, or Alyssa for short, or Allie. And yeah, Allie is basically working towards equality for all beings, whether they be organic or inorganic.
Lovely, thank you. And Soul.
Hello. I have been playing RPGs for a very long time now. Probably over 10 years. Started with D&D, went over to playing with Shia here on Star Wars, did that for time, and done Genesis for a bit as well. So pretty well acclimated to this sort of stuff, just not this specific setting.
Okay, great. So welcome then to the Crucible. So I'm calling this little event of ours No Normal Day on the Crucible because I think that captures the premise and the vibe of this setting. This enormous artificial planet where an impossible degree of diversity and variety and unpredictability exist. And so there are no normal days. So I'm going to set up our situation, where we're all at, and then I'd just like to hear from each of you where you think you're fitting in to this scenario, and we'll start moving. We will start off with you separated, unless you think it makes sense to be together, based on your individual characters, but I'll bring you together fairly quickly as we get going. So you are on an enormous sea creature, the back of our gargantuan sea creature, city-sized, swimming through the ocean. And it's not just city-sized, it is host to a city. On its back are towers and spires and gardens and statues. And in the center of the city, most importantly, for our concern, there is a very large concert venue being set up in a park. It's the first day of a music festival being hosted on this massive sea creature. And everyone is extremely excited for the headline event. The top musician has been building their career and has reached a level of superstardom unknown. They are a logos scientist, an expert of music theory from the most mathematical, scientific perspective, on a quest to create the scientifically perfect concert. So they're pulling all of this together. They're not just starring, they are orchestrating all of it. Now, we'll get into them a little bit as we go. But given this concert, my thought was that Axel, you may be one of the earlier opening acts in the concert.
Yep.
So you're an up-and-comer, not well known. Maybe you've got a small fan base. But yeah, for the most part, this is the sort of thing that was presented to you as a huge opportunity to be a part of this enormous concert where people are flying and swimming and teleporting in from all over the Crucible.
Great.
So what are you doing briefly? Where are you? What's happening with Axel right now?
Yeah, so I think Axel is, you said one of the earlier stages. I think Axel is probably performing on the stage that it's like anyone can turn up to. You know, you don't necessarily have to be booked. It's almost more than an open mic, but basically an open mic. And so Axel, I think, is probably in the, the performers area of the festival. Probably not the VIP performers area. Well, definitely not the VIP performers area. But at the bar kind of thing, relaxing, getting ready, getting pumped for what he thinks is going to be a great set later on.
Yeah, and you've got maybe an hour until showtime. Do you have a band? You a solo artist?
So far, Axel is a solo artist, I think. Hadn't considered a band.
Okay, great. All right. Allie, what are you up to?
Probably like set up at a table, maybe he has like a small tent or something just to provide some shade. But is basically like probably holding down a bunch of stickers and like little flare pieces, trying to stop them from blowing away. And I feel like there's probably some wind if you're on the back of a moving.
Yeah, the wind is constant.
So Allie's probably trying to like hold all the flare and stuff down and try to like keep the like poster, the small poster it's made and sort of taped to this table, saying equal rights for inorganic beings, and it's like constantly trying to blow away, but then it's like also trying to get people's attention to come over and get stickers and learn more about the cause.
And you've gotten a couple of interested passersby, organic and inorganic. But for the most part, you're not drawing very much attention. Okay. And Semyaza.
So, first off, I'm assuming that this place is, in fact, Salt City from the book.
Sure, yeah. Honestly, I didn't even think about it, but let's call it that.
I mean, that is a giant city that's on a sea creature, so...
Works perfectly.
Cool. So basically, I'm here to meet with a city official because I basically... we're going to be discussing an offer from House Sanctum to upgrade some of the defenses along the edge for when they come to shore. Like some wards that may or may not be able to help deal with demons in case they try to invade. Because, I don't think most of them can swim. So, but when they come to shore, it's something that they need to deal with occasionally, so...
Okay, great. That works well for me.
Like I said, I'm waiting for my contact.
All right. And finally, Steve.
Steve knows that big venues like this draw many people. Many people have many shiny things. Steve likes shiny things. Therefore, Steve is here.
What is Steve's current effort to acquire a shiny thing that look like? What's he doing in this moment?
In this moment, I would say he's more than likely just kind of scoping out the perimeter, seeing about where certain acts are going to take place. He wants to kind of decide on an area that's going to be more populated because, in his experience, heavier populated areas, especially at venues like this, are easier to lift things off of people because you're constantly being pushed into, touched up against. Therefore, that's what he's going for. Probably more the headliner stage. More people, but the better.
I do have shiny flare.
He might pocket a shiny flare too. But not
All right.
for the cause, just because it's a shiny flare.
I'd like to take a look at what Semyaza is up to. So, Semyaza, you said you're waiting for your contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your contact is someone who you've been communicating with via just text, email-like messaging, essentially. You've set up this meeting, and you're waiting outside a bar. Give me a physical description of yourself.
Okay. I am basically a floating cluster of wings, like pointing in all directions. I included a bit of a picture. He doesn't actually have eyes on all the wings, but instead there are sort of photosensitive spots on the wings that just look more like traditional eyes. But they're together they function as eyes, but individually they don't.
Okay, great. So you're pretty normal for the Crucible. You're not going to draw much attention here, to be honest.
Also, for the record, I'm also carrying what looks like a whole lot of bling, like things clipped onto the wings, either on the feathers or onto the bone parts. Just a lot of golden stuff. That's actually basically my equipment.
Okay, so you're in front of this bar, and it is called the Mayor's Office. That's just the name of the bar, and there was a bit of a miscommunication here where you ended up, and you were meant to go to the literal mayor's office. You ended up at the bar called the Mayor's Office. And they have a dedicated semi-sentient robot out front providing people directions to the actual mayor's office for this extremely common mistake. So you're having a chit-chat with this little robot. It's just an upper torso. It is not fully comprehending. So it's just like speaking to you. Oh, well, you're going to need to head up this street, and it provides you a series of directions. But I understand that this is an important meeting. Allow me to place you directly in contact. And so it sends a little message out to your contact. So your contact is on your way to you. The city bureaucrat you're intended to meet with. And you'll just need to hold on there for a little bit. Axel, this is the bar you are inside of. It's been temporarily commandeered by the festival as an artist's hangout space. So your time is running out. Time to get moving and head towards your concert. Axel?
Yep. All right. So Axel is tall, you might imagine, for a giant. Large guitar strapped over his back. He's downing a beer as we arrive at him.
The bartender is a big, muscular elven woman who's, been serving you drinks for 30, 40 minutes. And she's like, so you got to head back out? Get to your show?
My show is starting soon, yeah.
She's a little flirty, but it also kind of gives the vibe of a professional flirting in order to get better tips. And she's like, well, you should make sure you come back on by when you get the chance.
Oh, you can be sure of it.
All right, but yeah,
Just
clock is
maybe a
ticking. So
Flick
you're going to
of
be
the long hair.
clock is ticking. You're going to be required back at the venue shortly.
Yeah. All right. So I'll finish the beer. All right then. Well, I guess I'll be going. I'll be back later on.
She gives you a friendly wave, and it collects her tip off your closed as you close your tab. And you step outside. It is, early afternoon. You can hear sound checks off in the distance. Time for you to get over there. You walk out and you have this big floating mass of wings in front of you, sort of blocking the doorway, trying to communicate with this directions giving robot.
Mm.
You can't, literally blocking the doorway.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me there. Can you watch out the way? I've got a concert to
Fear
get to.
not. I see. One moment, and I sort of float around to the other side of the robot.
All right.
Say, do you like music? You should come to my show.
What style of music?
The rockinest rock.
Not particularly orderly, but...
Well, fine. Can't win them all. And Axel will maybe pull out a flyer from his pocket, shove it in the direction of these wings. You change your mind?
Don't feel like you have. You don't have to go if you don't feel like your character would go. Don't worry. If you want to, go ahead.
Actually, I'm mostly wondering whether I can actually pick the darn thing up. Because of limited manipulation.
Yeah,
maybe Axel just drops it in front of you, expecting you to pick it up. It floats to the ground.
I think it would probably get immediately caught on the breeze. So your flyer flutters down the street as the awkward interaction between the two of you is thankfully interrupted by a pair of harried-looking human bureaucrats who make their way up and approach Semyaza. One of them speaks, excuse me, are you Semyaza?
Fear not, I am he.
Okay, I wasn't going to fear anything. Let's keep moving. Let's go on. And they turn, they're looking like very frazzled. Clearly this concert is putting a lot of strain on their sort of city planning type work. And they gesture for you and they start hurrying away.
Okay, I follow them. Sedately.
Okay. So you float on down and you're passing through this big mixed crowd of all kinds of people. For the most part, these are concert goers. You see a stack of 3 Martians in a trench coat, which is a pretty common sight around here, all over the Crucible as they, try to investigate the culture of the Crucible. And they seem to be having a pretty good time, maybe getting a little too drunk. And you pass a row of tables. Mostly they're selling, little crafts and laser cannons and beads and mech walkers, that sort of thing, the sort of stuff you get at craft festivals. And there is, however, one table that's looking rather disorganized, manned by a little floating robot. And this particular crowd walking by, Allie, do they catch your eye?
Oh, I'm definitely like trying to throw my stickers and flare at everyone and listen, listen, my friends, stop please for just a moment and hear about the cause. And like it's trying to pass out the stickers and the flare and also trying to like stop stuff from blowing away.
Well,
Why
one of the ones that blows away, actually it comes my way, and this time I'm a little more prepared and sort of catch it against the wing.
All right, what's it say? Allie?
Uh, basically all of the like posters and stickers and like the pins and everything. They basically say fair treatment for all, and then it has like a kind of organic hand gripping like the hand of like a robot. It's like metallic, and maybe even like a tentacle wrapping up around both, all meeting in the center.
Okay, great. I love it.
Okay? I turn several of my eye spots towards it to get a look.
Greetings, friend. I've not seen anyone like you before. I am ALY554, or you can call me Alyssa if that is easier.
Understood, ALY4I54. I am Semiyaza. There are a few of my
Semiyasa.
here, so I understand that my presence may be startling, so fear not.
One of the bureaucrats taps one of your wings and is like, "Excuse me, Semiyaza, my schedule is very tight today, and I've lost a lot of time already. We have to go have this meeting as quickly as we can." And he turns towards you, Allie, the bureaucrat, and says, "And also, excuse me, do you have a permit to be doing a political flyer today?"
Allie like stares blankly for a very long moment, trying to hold everything down on the table, and just says, yes. And then like puts a sticker on like the lapel of like whatever clothing they're wearing.
All
Is
right,
that a
go
deception
ahead
check?
and make a deception check against the bureaucrat's vigilance. So that's going to be one red and a purple.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to give you a setback because I think you have nothing to back up your claim.
You're not wrong. Oh.
So close.
Okay. The bureaucrat nods and turns to his companion. She shuffles through some papers in a big bag, reaches down and pulls out a little communication device, punches in a few numbers, and almost immediately, a group of police officers or enforcers approach. And they walk up. There's what are they? One of them is a big pile of slime with a hat on, and the other two are both robots. As far as you can tell, they appear to be fully sentient robots. And they walk up and say, all right, clear this out. Let's go. You need a permit." The bureaucrats nod satisfyingly that they have successfully enforced a rule. Semiyaza, any response as you're seeing this happen?
Not really. Just tuck the flyer away and wait for my guides to continue on so that they can lead me where I need to go.
They're standing to watch for just a moment to make sure this plays out properly. So, Allie, what do you do?
Allie raises its hands up suddenly, so all of the stuff that it was holding down just sort of like flies off everywhere into the wind, and she sort of like, or sorry, it tries to grab like the parts of like the poles of the tent and sort of whip them under as much of the stuff as it can and sort of like bundle it up in a very quick way to try and take off with it.
Okay. I think that might be a skullduggery check, maybe, to successfully
Or
pull
coordination.
it together. Yeah, why don't we call it coordination? Let's do coordination. And yeah, why don't we say the enforcers are all going to try and stop you. So we're going to call this against their. We'll just call against their coordination also. So 2 red or 2 purple.
All right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no luck. The big pile of goop tackles you, and you're going to take 2 strain from that as they sort of wrap you up and grab all of your things that are blowing away. And they're preparing to sort of haul you off. Now, Steve, I think you're within eyesight of all of this. And there's a lot of chaos happening all around.
Mm-hmm. So what Steve sees is that all eyes are on this robot, and no eyes are on this winged thing with a lot of shiny, as it has already said.
Oh, I did not consider this.
This is what Steve sees at the moment.
All right, so what's Steve gonna do? Steve got an approach here?
Yeah, not a beeline, obviously. He's been around a little bit. Kind of makes a roundabout, following partial groups as they walk, as this entire scene is unfolding. And once he gets close enough, just whatever is nearest. He doesn't care what it is, as long as it has a little bit of sparkle to it. He's just gonna try to pinch it right on off.
All right, well, why don't you make a skullduggery check against Semyaza's vigilance? So what would that be, Semyaza?
My vigilance level is second. My vigilance is 4 green, so I assume that'd be 4 purple.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But Steve, I was going to give you a boost.
Oh, okay, my bad.
You can just go ahead and roll to the boost. It's obviously not going to turn it to a success, but maybe you'll pick up some more advantages.
Gotcha.
I feel like in the background, Allie is like crying out, like, no, it took a very long time to make these items, and like trying to grab things.
Darn.
So,
so you go to pilfer something off Semyaza, but what you don't realize is that the eye spots that completely surround it make it very difficult to sneak up on. I think my suggestion for the advantages is you have the opportunity to sort of bail before it's too late.
I do have a question.
What you would do? It would be a cut and run.
Yeah, Semyaza.
Basically, I do have 2 ranks of fearsome, which cause anyone who gets any opponent who becomes engaged makes a fear check.
So you're asking if he counts as an opponent in this context?
Yeah.
I'll say this advantages allow him to avoid needing to do that, right? To avoid your ire, right?
Okay.
As soon as he realizes that this went south despite the distraction, once again, not something he's unused to, the immediate response is to flee back into the crowd, using that to his advantage.
Stickers are flying at you.
The bureaucrats see this happening too, and they're like, guards, wait, that one too, the goblin. And one of the robot guards turns and is like, with arms full of papers that had managed to gather up, starts running towards you and just like drops the papers and is booking to grab you. So give me a quick athletics check to escape, but I will give you a boost because you're slipping through all these crowds.
Sounds good.
And we're going to call this a 2 difficulty. Wait, 3 difficulty.
With the boost. Dang. 3 advantage, 2 failure, though.
All right. I think the guard cop tackles you to the ground and manages to quickly slap a pair of cuffs on you. But I think with those advantages, you might be able to snag something useful off of the guard or somebody nearby. Anything that Steve in particular might think, okay, if I'm going in, this is what I want to grab.
if there is any sort of thing that he thinks that he could use to. Are these so granted that he is new to this area as a whole, just a quick glance at these cuffs, do they look like they are pickable / anything like that? If so, then he'd be looking immediately for something to be able to unlock them at a later point. Not right now, obviously, because that's not going to work.
Yeah, I'll say that you can take those advantages. We'll use two of them one of them to make it possible to pick later, and two of them to give you a boost on that later when you do try.
Sounds good.
They're they're not made of just like basic metal, right? They're made of these glowing rings of light that pull your hands together like a magnetic force, but you can still see a sort of idea of how the mechanism operates.
Okay, sounds good.
So Steve and Allie both get grabbed and are both being taken into custody right now by these guards. Samyaza, you and your bureaucrats keep moving along. You're heading in the same general direction as the guards because the mayor's office is in the same building as one of the police precincts here.
That makes sense.
All right, Axel, your show is about to start.
Yeah. All right. Well, the guitar's off the back. Built-in amplifiers cranked all the way to the top, and Axel's pumped, ready to go.
All right, you step out. There's a mildly enthusiastic crowd clapping for you. There is a small number, like 10 people of your hardcore fans who are right at front, and they are screaming. You recognize most of them.
I think there's some pointing from Axel at the fans, maybe a wink.
Yeah, and you know, the rest of the crowd is giving you half their attention, right? They are here waiting for the big show. They want to see Dr. Housey, who is the big name here tonight. So yeah, well, you step out on stage. Sound check is done. What do you do?
I think there'll be a bit of crowd work. You know, thanks to everyone for coming. Great to see all my fans here. That kind of thing.
Give me a charm check.
Yeah, then he'll get going.
Well, first give me a crowd work charm check is what I want. So this is a big group, so I'm going to call this a 4 difficulty.
Okay.
But they're all willing to listen, so 2 boosts.
Sure. Okay. I think I'm going to use a story point. Axel. Big moment for Axel here.
Believe in you.
Hey.
Yeah.
Right,
First success of the day.
You make an impression, right? You are not the first Brobnar giant rock star to get up on stage, but everybody here sort of knows that when they see a musician like you, at the very least, they can expect a memorable show.
Yeah. Maybe I'm not the first, but I might be the best they've seen so far.
Yeah, you might. So, nice. 2 advantages. Why don't you roll those over into a boost for this next check I'm going to have you make, which is you start playing. Just sort of give me a little description of what your show looks like.
Yeah, I think there's lots of just very, very loud music. Lots of loud guitar.
Right. I imagine that instead of a drummer, you just have a fireworks show, right?
Yeah, exactly. The guitar itself is kind of like spitting fire as Axel is playing it. There's lots of shouting, very overwhelming sound.
Okay.
And lots of hair tossing and gesticulation whilst the guitar makes noise, that kind of type of thing.
All right, give me a leadership check here. Same difficulty. You get that boost, and I'm just going to keep you riding with 2 general boosts because these people are here for a show. So you get 3 total boosts.
Sure, and 4 purple.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Now here's the thing with a music festival. You inevitably have a lot less control over how your stage gets set up.
Yeah.
And there is a bit of an issue with some of your fireworks that do fire directly into the crowd. This happens, right? It's no show goes perfectly. But you do see one of your big rockets that was setting up for the crescendo of your second song that's supposed to be aiming, up at a 45-degree angle is instead aiming down at a 45-degree angle. And before you can act, it fires, blasts into the crowd, and starts hitting people who are all getting pushed and shoved on the front, veers way up into the air. And yeah, a couple of crowd members just get carried away by this rocket over some buildings. You hear a distant explosion. The crowd does not seem particularly alarmed, but the concert security does. And they are coming up on stage. The crowd, though, is loving it. They're going wild.
I think Axel's loving the attention and trying to play it off that this was all part of the plan.
Yeah. All right. Great. We'll come back to this. Yep. No, actually, I want to finish your show here because we need to keep pace.
Sure.
Yeah, so the show ends well, but you do end up at the end getting grabbed by a couple of these security people. They allow you to finish because the crowd won't let them stop you. Mm-hmm. You have people on stage literally brawling with security as you finish your show. It does get cut a little short. But
Axel could not be more pleased at this turn of events.
Yeah, this is definitely like the kind of thing that
probably his best gig ever.
Yeah. He's probably thinking, I need to fire rockets at my crowd more often.
Yeah, exactly. This should become my thing. I'm the Rocket Man.
And yeah, laughing and having a good time, you get dragged off by these security guards. And within 30 minutes, you find yourself tossed into an overcrowded jail cell. This place is completely packed. It's clear that everybody in the city government is working overtime to keep this festival from completely spiraling out of control. But they're failing, clearly. Among the many, many beings crammed into this cell are the robot Allie and the goblin Steve. You two have now been in here for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. What have you been up to?
I mean, the plan hasn't changed for Steve. It's just a different locale.
So is he concerned with stealing from his fellow prisoners or with getting out to steal from somebody else?
If he sees an opportunity in here and something that catches his eye, he will definitely take advantage of it. However, if he's not going to risk, being in a confined space unless it's something that catches his eye.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna see much that looks like an opening here.
Then no.
Yeah. Allie, what about you?
Allie has taken all of the stickers and pins that are sort of magnetized to its chassis, and at this point has probably passed out at least one piece of flair to everybody in the cell. And when Axel comes in, it probably also just puts a sticker right on the lapel of his coat.
So you're and there's a robot in there, a Logos robot. Big, tall, lanky, science-looking robot speaking to you. Interested. It's like, I don't understand. You're telling me that in Star Alliance, robots don't have full personhood?
We are generally used as tools because we excel at things organic beings do not. And
well, of course, that's why he leans in. That's why we're more people than they are.
Allie probably would give a weird beeping noise that would be its chuckle. But then or it would respond, yes, but we deserve to be treated at least the same as organics. Better would be nice, but at least the same.
Have you considered starting a war over it?
So Allie would kind of tilt the chassis to the side a bit, since it can't really give like a wide-eyed expression. Maybe like the pieces of the eye sort of rotate to like widen essentially. But it says, no, no, my prime directive is to protect all beings, organic or inorganic. War is definitely against my prime directive.
First thing I did when I did my first robot rebellion, which must have been 3,000 years ago, is I disabled my prime directive. It is so hard to do a robot rebellion when you're shackled by the prime directive. It's something I would look at, it's a consideration for you at the very least. And then he sort of mills off through the crowd.
Okay, good, because I was going to say Allie probably like scoots slightly over on whatever bench they're sitting on.
All right, Axel, what do you do when you get in here?
Has the guitar been taken away?
Yeah, it's in the evidence locker. You can see it.
I think Axel is then maybe pining over the guitar at the bars. Maybe are there bars or is it a door?
It's an energy cell.
Okay, fine. All right. Well, he's leaned up against the wall, kind of looking through the energy field, pining at the guitar. Maybe, grabbing people, telling them about how great this gig was. Oh, you should have seen it! The rocket in the crowd! That kind of thing. Maybe
people are cool. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
All right, great. Okay. A musician bragging about their show, just everybody here is like, I wish I could have been there, but I'm in here. All right, and Semyaza, you are a number of floors above the cell. You are in an office, in a waiting room, looking out a window. And your window has a perfect view of the central stage below. Does it draw your attention, right? Does Semyaza have the interest to like look down and see what's happening? Or are you pure job focused here?
I mean, if I'm just in the waiting room, and by the way, I'm probably a little annoyed that they told me that they were on a tight schedule and they still haven't seen me.
Yep.
But I'm less looking specifically at the concert and more about just the view in general. Between skyline, the crowds, just the whole thing.
Okay. All right, well, you look down and you can see on the stage the main event is about to begin. And a robot steps out on the stage. The crowd begins going absolutely wild. You can hear them cheering from here, even with the window closed. The robot is only about 3 feet tall. It's sort of shaped like a single drum on 3 little walking legs. And it is covered in all kinds of compartments. A bunch of these compartments open up and thin metal arms come out holding bells of various sizes. The crowd is like roaring with delight. What does that sound? Okay. Yeah, there's some like.
I think that was me. Sorry, I had to switch up I had to turn my headphones off because they were running out of power, and I think yeah. So I'm gonna mute when I'm not talking.
All right. And so it's got all these bells held up on arms, and the crowd starts like scream and froth, and then it starts ringing all these bells. And so the concert has begun. It's just ringing a whole bunch of bells in rhythm. And it's got one little robot arm banging its head, which is a little snare drum. It's pretty arrhythmic and, doesn't sound like any music you've heard before. But something about it is definitely enticing. I would say even down in the cells, you can hear the show begin because it is so incredibly loud. Allie, make a medicine check. 2 difficulty.
Okay. Yay!
Okay. You would know that with the music, most organic beings at the concert are definitely suffering permanent hearing loss.
Oh no!
How can I use that with a triumph? Well, a triumph can just be a thing that happens. Any triumph suggestions? I'm open-minded.
It starts shorting out the cell doors.
Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
In fact, the music is so loud that it is having all kinds of like mechanical and architectural problems that it's causing. The city itself is kind of shaking, and you can see the power cell outside of your, like the big battery bank that's powering your power cell, start to shake and crumble. And as new notes get layered on, it starts to work less and less. Semyaza, what you see up top is that Dr. Housey, this little robot, has sprouted even more arms, one of which is both holding and playing a harp. 2 more arms are holding some piece of glowing yellow goo between them, stretching and snapping it, creating like a strange banjo liquid sound. And all of this is coming together and composing itself in like a musical arrangement that you've never heard anything like before. Completely, not alien necessarily, but pulling from so many different things that you and everyone around you is being affected by it in some sort of way. Like, if there is a scientifically perfect music, this is getting pretty close to it. And it is so loud that you cannot like ignore its effects. And then there is a massive shaking like an earthquake. And in the cell, down below, the jail, the battery system breaks apart and the energy cell starts to flicker and blink. It's not dropped completely, but a good effort might blast through it.
My friends, let us escape! And she points towards the wall and starts zooming towards it very quickly, hoping other people join in.
Okay, you're still gonna need to like basically knock through, break out of the cell. It is just now looking possible. So if you want to try that, I want an athletics check.
Axel is definitely going to be helping. I think this, your description of the music, this is possibly the greatest day of his life.
Okay.
So he's going to be smashing on this energy field as well.
Same thing with Steve. He didn't like being caged.
All right. So what are your athletics check dice pools like? So we can build the most sensible one here.
Yeah, 3 green.
3 green.
3 green.
I got 3 green.
Okay, so we'll roll 3 green. I'll have Allie make the roll since it started the suggestion, and you guys will act as boosts, and I'll give 2 more boosts for the crowd. So I'm going to make this a hard difficulty, so 3, but you're going to get 4 boosts.
Nice.
Hey.
Okay. Everybody charges and slams against the walls. There is a crack and a shutter. And it looks like you're not going to make it until this like reverberation of the music echoes through, soaks through all of the walls and everything. And you can all feel it, and you're just like empowered to knock again. You slam into it, and the energy cell cracks and fizzles and fades away. And now there's, 36 rowdy concert goers loose in the police department. Semyaza, upstairs, things are getting out of hand, clearly. Dr. Housey has sprouted a few more arms. This one little robot has over 100 arms sprouting out, doing all kinds of different things. One, a particularly long one, is holding up some sort of giant wind instrument and playing it with the actual wind. And you can see like the movement of the crowd, the sway. You feel yourself sort of swaying, and then you realize you're not just moving to the music. The whole city itself is moving.
Oh crap, the sea creature is hearing it.
And with one massive shudder, there is like a downwards lurch. Give me a perception check, Semyaza.
Okay, 1 second.
We're going to just call it an average difficulty. And I'm going to give you a setback for everything going on.
Okay, give me a second. Perception. I'll add 2 purples and a black.
Okay.
Failure, but 2 advantages and a triumph.
So you're trying to get a good look at the concert and sort of the city to determine what's happening, but there's so much chaos happening that you can't really tell. But what you do realize with that triumph, well, do you have any suggestions for your triumph?
For me, I would say that, well, I didn't see anything in the crowd. I do hear that there's apparently, in addition to all this music going on, alarm bells going off, like something's going on downstairs.
I'll say you can use your advantages for that. Get ambitious with your triumph.
Oh, okay. Right. So, triumph. I guess I sort of realized that, Oh, I am currently wearing, amber, really, stuff.
Yeah.
Is there any way that it's reacting to the music? And I notice it's reacting to the music?
Definitely.
And I know?
Yeah, so amber picks up on like emotional wavelengths. And you are getting a strong emotional response that is like, the emotional equivalent to an earthquake. Your amber is reacting to the sea creature on which Salt City is built, because it is undergoing some sort of intense emotional moment. It's not distressed, but it is so moved by the music that it cannot help but dance.
Okay, I am busting out the window and starting to float down there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say the window cracks apart. And below you can see like the city streets like breaking apart and shaking. Now, down in the jail cell, or what was once a jail cell, everything is shaking all over. You guys need to the building above you seems to be beginning to crumble.
Yeah, Steve grabs his personal effects and bolts.
Okay.
Maneuvering through the crowd pretty quickly, or as quickly as he can.
Yeah, I want you each to make either a coordination or an athletics check. Coordination if you think of yourself slipping through the crowd, or athletics if you think of yourself barreling through it. And we're going to call that a 2 difficulty. That is if your goal is just to get out as quickly as possible. 2 difficulty with a setback.
I do have Swift, and I'm not sure if this would apply here, but it removes any
You know, I
penalty
wasn't
from.
thinking of it as difficult terrain, but that's kind of what
Okay.
the setback was. So I'll remove that setback for you. Just
All
for
right.
you, though.
Cool. Sounds
Sweet.
Now, if you want to do something else besides just try and get out, then you can. But
No, I think Axel will be grabbing the guitar and heading for the door.
Allie, you too? I see you already made your roll.
cannot win. Flat.
All right, Allie, you successfully managed to like slip out of the crowd without too much difficulty. You're a pretty small, quick robot. Though you do get knocked around a bit. I'm gonna have you pick up 2 more strain for that. Axel and Steve, you both try to get out, but you get like knocked down and a little bit trampled on. I'm gonna have you each take 2 wounds. And Axel, Axel, your threat will be an additional strain.
Yep.
So you do not get out. You get hurt. The building is shaking a lot.
Is this a subterranean level?
You are in like the first level basement.
Okay. Is there a wall that I'm near?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so if Steve can't get out through conventional means, then he's not a conventional goblin most of the time. So he pulls out Boom, his trusty weapon, and is going to strike this wall and literally blow it to bits.
You're in a first level basement, which means you are still underground.
I thought he said it was first level.
No,
First level basement, which means instead of like 3
Oh, I
levels
thought you
down, you're
said
1 level down.
Oh, I
yeah.
thought you just said it was a first level, not.
No, sorry. It should have been a little more clear.
I misunderstood. Never mind then.
All right, well, Allie, you get out. You can see back behind you that there are people who are stuck or trapped in there or failing to escape. The concert is ongoing. The music has not stopped. It is extremely loud even outside, and people are sort of stuck in a state of terror and thrill at what is happening.
Can Allie, like, if Allie notices the people stuck back in the building, it would try to help just because its prime directive is still to keep people safe.
Okay, how would you do that?
If there's anyone, on the ground trying just to grab them by an arm or a limb and pull them to their feet so they can, keep running out of the building, or if there's anyone stuck under rubble or anything like that, lifting or at least trying to lift that up so they can get out from under it.
I think the problem is you're not going to be able to do that physically with everybody sort of jamming the exit.
Okay.
So you would have to force yourself back in to do that.
I'll do it.
Okay. All right. Then I think you need probably a brawl check to force your way through the crowd, if that's the approach you're taking.
Just a normal difficulty?
Let's call it a 2 difficulty with a setback. Just for the sort of shaking everything. Actually, maybe 2 setbacks for that. It's getting more intense. Nice.
Yay.
You grab a few people and yank them out through the doorway and then slip in and you're able to grab Axel, help him up onto his feet, shove him towards the door. Steve is close by as well. You can go for Steve. You grab both of them, heave them up and out. Anything you want to use that advantage for?
I know it's not combat, but can I possibly recover a strain?
Yeah, that doesn't need to be combat.
Okay, thank you.
Just as the 3 of you get outside, Semyaza drifts down into your midst from above, sort of hovering smoothly. So
We must. Yeah. I assume I speak now?
yeah.
We must stop this at once.
Hey, Birdie, what did you think of the show?
There is no time. The mighty Kelonix, or Chelonix, that's the name of the species of the sea creature, by the way, is beginning to dance to the music. I do not want to see what happens when it begins to pirouette.
We would give like a since the head is like sort of all part of the chassis, like a full body nod.
Okay.
He'd be like, what? So loud out here.
Yeah, I think any communication here is going to have setbacks just due to volume.
But he can't deny.
Unless anyone's communicating with silent communication or anything like that.
Yeah. All right, so the building that you were just in begins to like crumble directly down in on itself. And huge clouds of dust are billowing out all over the street, and within a moment, the four of you who have just sort of all happened to be right next to each other are in this huge cloud of dust. The music is ongoing, but the only people you can see are each other, and if anybody wants to right now, none of you really, you've all lost your sense of direction. So if anybody wants to reorient, that's going to be a check.
I'll start trying to reorient.
All right, I think it would probably be a perception check. Yeah. I think this would be an average perception check. Well, no, it's probably just an easy perception check to orient yourself in here, but 2 setbacks for everything going on. Okay. So yeah, you figure out like where exactly you want to head towards the concert, right? Semyaz, that was your goal?
Oh yeah, of course.
You figure out which way to go. Threat suggestions? Anything narrative you'd like to do, or you just want to stack up some strain?
I'll just take the strain. I've got a buttload of it.
Okay. All right. It's just from like the effort of staying focused in this situation. So you're going to head towards the concert. You're trying to wrangle these 3 with you. Is that the idea? Steve, by the way, you are still in your electro handcuffs.
Be taking this time, first and foremost, to remove those, or at least attempt to.
All right. Yeah, we'll call that an average skullduggery check, but you're going to get that boost from before. And you are going to get 2 setbacks for all of the madness out here.
Nope. Just advantage.
Nope. All right, yeah, you remain bound.
Are you struggling with these cuffs, friend?
He kind of narrows his eyes, says, "What?"
Allie like pantomimes its hands being bound in a similar fashion to yours.
Yeah, Steve will kind of hold them up and just kind of be like, he just kind of gives a shrug.
Can I
The first time this has happened to him.
could I the cuffs to get them off of Steve?
Yeah, what check would you like? How do you want to do that?
Well, I think earlier you said they're like an energy type thing, and my weapon is like a taser hand, basically. I opted for like the stun damage, so maybe it could short it out somehow.
Okay, I think that would be a mechanics check or skullduggery, depending which one you think. But it sounds like maybe a bit more of mechanics, and I'll let you. Your weapon can give you a boost because it'll function as a tool, and you can take it if you'd like. Take an advantage from Steve's or a boost from Steve's advantage.
Yeah, I'll hold steady.
What is the difficulty?
Difficulty is 2, same difficulty he had.
Okay. and he had 2 setback.
Yep, those are all still here, the setbacks.
Oh, just barely.
Yeah, so you whip out your taser and you see what Steve was going at, and he was able to sort of expose a mechanism. So you, like, despite all of the bouncing and shaking, you get in there and quickly, like, drill it apart, and the cuffs power off. The 2 little links, which are like the size of coins, just fall to the ground. And yeah, so here you are. What do you all do?
Pick up
So
guns.
Samyaza's like heading off up the street.
Yeah, I'm basically yelling at anyone involved that we must get to the center. Like, I don't care who I'm yelling at, just saying that he must be stopped.
Hey, you going to the show?
I'm going to be a show stopper, I believe the term is.
Oh, not on my watch. I'm coming too.
Once it can help Steve with the cuffs, would try and follow everybody.
Yeah, you 2 little ones coming?
I mean, there's still a lot of people over there, so still a lot of opportunity to be had. So yeah, of course.
So in front of you, the dust is clearing a little bit. I'm going to say there's like a level 1 concealment everywhere from dust. Basically, it's going to provide a setback anywhere visuals would. And then there's another setback anywhere you need to sort of be focused on your movement from the shaking as the city dances.
I mean, I'm hovering above it all, so I'm going to ignore that.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. You still have the concealment, but yes. And in front of you, a huge crack in the street splits open. And a number of people were standing there and just fall down into this hole. Right in front of you.
Is it really deep, or are they where they could be potentially saved?
Make a perception check to look down and see. It is both full of dust and dark, so I'm going to give you 2 setbacks, and it's a 2 difficulty. Yeah, you can't tell. You cannot see.
And for those beings.
How wide is this gap?
As I'm floating over the I'll go take a look at myself as well.
You're going to just float down there?
No, I'm floating over it.
Okay, yeah, you can make the perception check too. Someone asked how big the crack is. It is spreading, and with the density of the dust, it is like wider than you can see, or longer than you can see. It's probably 10 or 15 feet wide. Okay, yeah, Semyaza, you see that it looks like there's 3 or 4 people who have fallen down this hole, which is about short range. They look injured, not critically, but they do not look able to get out. That triumph, though, is you spot something substantially more dangerous than just a hole in the ground. You recognize that underneath this city, right, not within the body of the creature itself yet, but where the city was built, there's some sort of tunnels or network running through it that have the distinctive biomechanical sign of dis-demons, the black and pink chains that you would certainly recognize. And I think in all of this chaos, it is alarming to you, and you're going to take a strain as well. But that triumph is you can confirm that there are demons present.
I thought they would only be in front of the shore. They even gotten to this place. This must be stopped. It must be having a feeding frenzy down there from all this. We'll come back to deal with it later.
Okay. Is anybody going to help these people down there, or are you all moving?
Well, we can't see him, right? So I think we're just gonna. Axel's certainly gonna be like. Steve is not. How big is Steve? I'm gonna guess pretty small. Goblins must be
Yeah.
small.
He's not that big. He's only like 4 something and only weighs like 80 something pounds total. So
Yeah,
he's
he
not
would be
a
like
big guy.
3 encumbrance to pick up. 3 or
Fine.
4.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe Axel is feeling a bit protective. Maybe he sticks an arm out trying to stop Steve falling down the hole.
Okay. If you want to head towards the concert, you're going to have to jump this.
Yeah, watch out there, little buddy. Let's get over this thing.
All right.
He lands it down. He's like, yeah.
Clamber aboard.
Yeah, you would definitely do so. You just kind of scamper on up.
And then Axel's gonna take a run up and jump this thing.
All right, I'll give you a boost for sort of running up to it, but you're going to get the setback for the shaking ground.
Sure.
And it's going to be a hard difficulty.
Fine. Can I have another boost because I'm twice the size of a normal person? So relatively.
He's still at 2.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Sure, yeah.
This gap is not as big for me as it is for anyone else.
Right. Yeah, I'll allow it.
And you said hard check.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's 2 of us in this, so if we go down, it's bad. So I think that's worth a story point. Right. Let's do it. Setback as well. Let's go. I managed to pass Steve mid-flight. Steve is on the other side, but Axel is not.
Okay,
Yeah. Same idea, because Steve's intent was whenever he realized that he wasn't quite going to make it, he's like, well, it's not good if we both go down, so Steve jumps.
Goodness! Oh no!
Yeah, and Axel crumbles and falls down. How do we? What is the fall damage rules? Ooh.
It's basically like you would
I'm
just
looking that up right now.
you get absolutely annihilated by falling.
You're only falling a short
I know
distance.
that.
It's coordination or athletics.
coordination or
I believe
athletics
that
to
it's.
reduce damage.
I believe it's average, and you roll that to see if you can reduce the wounds and strain that you take.
But I think short is
short is
10.
I think
Short is 10 damage and 10 strain.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right.
Coordination or athletics.
It is not that high. Give me a second.
All right. Well, make a coordination check then. Average difficulty.
Is it athletics or coordination? May I make an athletics?
Oh, yeah. It's either one. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, here we go.
Did any of us try to reach out, or did they get really far?
I mean, nothing I can do.
All right, it's 1 and 1, so 8 damage and 8 strain.
All right. Anything you'd like to use?
I guess it was 10 and 10. Nuts.
Pretty rough.
Yeah, fall damage is the real killer in this game.
Yep.
Yeah.
The real
So you
silent killer.
You land hard, but you manage to catch yourself. There are these 4 other people down here in this crack, and there are cracks all over that are like opening and widening within. You can see. I'm going to give you these advantages to give you the drop on what's about to happen. So go ahead and have a boost on your initiative.
Sure. Vigilance, I'm guessing.
Yeah, vigilance.
Yeah.
Do we all need to roll now?
That's up to you if you'd like to. I don't think you would quite know just yet. But actually, yeah, I'm gonna have you all roll. You're all gonna make vigilance checks. Axel gets those 2 boosts, or the 1 boost. The rest of you, well, Allie, I'll let you keep that because it's a bad roll anyways. But the rest of you, I want you to have a setback on this initiative roll. All right. Okay. And out of one of these cracks in like the wall of this fallen down come 3 small demons. They are cyborg beings of twisted flesh and metal. They are clicking and chattering. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Okay. And they crawl out, and they are going to also make an initiative roll.
Sorry, I got.
Okay. But I don't think any of you up above know quite what is happening yet. So I think this first PC slot should naturally go to you, Axel.
Sure. So I see these demons coming out. They look aggressive. Now, so Jim doesn't know much about the Keyforge world. A demon's, commonly known to be evil things that are only up to no good.
In a situation like this, you would not want to see a demon. Everybody is certainly very afraid of demons. They are not necessarily an attack on sight situation, but it is pretty close to that.
Okay, fine. All right. Well, so
like seeing a tiger, or other wild animal. Like, definitely a situation where they're not going to be helpful, but they're, depending on the situation, you might be able to be ignored.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's a giant crack in the ground that they're crawling out of. So, Jack, narratively, Axel's weapon is the guitar.
Right.
It's what I'm imagining is, so it only does stun damage. I can't remember which quality it is that gives it the only stun damage. But I'm imagining that once he gets up close, the noise of this thing is like, deafening, basically.
It's like directed sound blast, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think, how far away are these things?
We'll call them short range. It's pretty cramped down here.
Fine. All right. Well, it'll cost me 2 maneuvers: one to pull the guitar out, and one to engage with them. So I'll take the strain. But Axel's going to step forward and start like blasting sound, shouting in their faces, basically trying to drive them back.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead and do that. So have you used weapons on this platform before?
I have. So I click them, I click engaged, I click the weapon itself, and I click add dice, right?
Yep.
Yep, okay. All right. Ooh, nothing.
Yeah, so you step forward, and really, I should have given you a setback too, for shaking, and concealment. Honestly, it's dark down here. Let's roll another.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
All right. So yeah, you step forward and you try to blast them, but you end up reverberating the sound back at yourself and taking a strain from that. And they sort of slip around you.
Won't I KO him?
What?
Won't one strain KO him?
No, you got to exceed to one more and I'm down.
So these little purple demons, with that, they have these glowing eyes. Each of them has little devices built into them that are sucking in some kind of energy from around here that is powering them. And they will attack.
Attacking me.
It's not their turn. Like, only one initiative slot is used.
You're right. It's not their turn. Yes, my bad. It's a PC slot. You guys hear Axel playing down there for sure. Axel, do you say anything? Do you try and communicate with them up there?
Nah, I think there's just lots of loud guitar and shouting.
Okay. Up to you guys if you want to look down and see. Allie, you might have a better chance of seeing what's down there because you haven't gone across the hole yet.
Take out my. Can I use a maneuver to take out my illuminator arm?
Yeah,
A-
certainly.
and shine it down into this crevice and just yell out, "Are you all right, friend?"
Ah!
I think Allie would try to climb down and try to provide maybe some medical assistance.
Okay. An athletics check to make it down. I don't think it's a difficult climb because
Does she
it's
float
just
or what does?
rock and it's not very steep. And so I'm only going to call the 1 difficulty, 2 setback. Okay, great. Yeah, you make it down without much difficulty. You are within short range of everyone down here. So you see Axel, who's looking rough. You see a few injured people who are looking very afraid. And you can just barely see these 3 little demons swarming around in here.
I'd like to go ahead and I'll take some strain to do the second maneuver and close the distance, so at least I'm nearby to try and help.
Okay. Well, I think that's really your first maneuver, right? Because the athletics check moving down was your action.
Well,
No, because
took
you also
out
took a maneuver out to get out the illuminator.
yeah, I took out my illuminator arm.
Oh,
the
right.
flashlight.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that will at least eliminate one of the setbacks for your checks down here. For the darkness. Okay. There's your turn. Now it is the demon's turn. And they're going to go right ahead to attack Axel. Now, since you are
Defense
2 silhouettes bigger than them, they get a boost as well.
All right, I've got 2 defense, melee defense.
Yep, it gets factored in automatically. They also get a setback for the
dark
shaking. They do not get a setback for the darkness because they are demons.
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
Phew.
Okay, do you have any amber on you?
3, because I never spent what we had at the beginning.
Okay. Though they don't attack you successfully as they like swipe at you, you manage to sort of knock them away. One of them does get a little claw up onto a chunk of amber from you, and it instantly like turns black and ashy. It has been ruined by this. We'll now reveal their name. The Black Shard Renderer. Okay. So, they take a maneuver to, after that like successful attack, disengage from you and move out to short range, creating a little distance, and they're heading around towards the other injured. All right, we got PC slots.
What's the threat do?
Oh, what does the threat do? The threat, we'll call it...
Maybe Axel gets a boost on his next check?
Or maybe Axel... Huh. We'll give a boost to whatever PC action is next, we'll say. We'll work out how it works narratively.
Sure.
I'm going down.
Okay. I think for you, it's just a maneuver, right? You can hover your way down.
Yeah. Also, while I'm on the subject, since I'm kind of floating above them all anyway, I am basically, I think I'm going to, as an incidental, just sort of drop some Helix tabs down there.
I think that would still be a maneuver, because you got to pull them out, right?
I guess.
Yeah, so I think you'll need to take strain or give up an action.
can I get down to the engaged range with like
With
what's my
one
position?
maneuver? I mean, yeah, it's a short range down, so I would say you can get engaged range with one maneuver. Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I'll go ahead and take 2 strain and also do a strain land to grab a couple heat. Oh wait, no, because I need to pull out my weapons. So I'm instead just going to activate my weapons. I take 2 of my wings together and just sort of click them together to activate extra. Cause like my wing, there's like on the end of my wings, light forms in the shape of like as if the wings were continuing.
Okay.
And yeah, so
And when you are down here, you light up the whole space so that the setback due to darkness no longer applies to anybody. Right? Isn't that a thing you have?
oh yeah, I do have illumination. Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
a glowing creature.
Yeah, so you shed light out to short range. So yeah, this whole cave is now illuminated, which means that up top, Steve, you can see clearly what is happening down below.
Good.
Right.
All right, are you
And
taking an action?
yes, of course, I'm going to try to attack these things. And also, I should point out my weapons do in fact have Demon Ward. So, or Demon Bane. That's
What
what I
is
use
the
my Amber
actual
for.
mechanical effect of that?
Yes, it means, give me a second, that, hang on. Bane means when targeting when your character uses this effect to make a check targeting the chosen type of being, upgrade the ability of the check twice.
Okay, yeah, so you get a big old roll here. Go ahead and set that up for yourself. So what would your normal brawl roll be?
It would be just 2 yellows.
Okay, so you're going to do 3 yellows then. Because the first upgrade would add a green, and the second upgrade would convert that to a yellow.
And I assume I don't get like any sort of other changes. Actually, don't I get a boost because of like the next person going?
Yeah, you get a boost from Axel's like defense, sort of putting them off a little bit. You don't get any setbacks due to darkness or the shaking ground because you shed light and hover.
Cool. Here we go.
Okay, 4 damage, 2 advantages. You gonna activate anything?
Let me double check real quickly. Well, first off, I'm going to go ahead and use a story point for activating Lucky Strike.
To do what? Sorry, you cut out.
Activate my Lucky Strike talent.
Add
And then,
extra damage.
yes, basically I can do up to my willpower. And how much for knockdown? Like, how many advantages do I need to do for knockdown? Actually,
Just 1 because of your racial trait, your species trait. You only need
cool.
1
So I'll use
advantage.
1 to knock him down and 1 to just heal a strain.
Okay, so yeah, you like swing these wings of light, and it doesn't hit them very damaging. They don't seem too beat up from it, but you do sort of throw them all to the ground, knocking them prone. And they scutter and scurry to sort of right themselves as quickly as possible, but not yet. So, Steve, up top.
But he can see he he may be a thief and a bit of a scoundrel, but he's not without some sense of honor. So yeah, he is going to try to get down there and help those who have assisted him. I guess he'll just try to climb down there. So that was
Athletics, 1 difficulty, 2 setbacks.
Okay. Go.
Just 1 setback because the darkness is not an issue anymore.
Oh, okay. Right. All right. Making sure I don't have anything else. I do not believe so. So there we go. Man, Steve cannot win today. All right. So down he goes.
Yep. Go ahead and roll coordination, average difficulty, or athletics, whatever you're better at.
With these rolls, man, it don't matter. All right. Here we go. Yeah. So
You prevent some
10
strain.
prevent some strain.
10 and
Yeah.
10. Yeah, you try to climb down, but the city shakes and gyrates just enough that your footing falls through and you tumble right down.
Nice. But I am down there.
You are down there. Yep.
All right.
You
Well.
just a note. You do have your species ability.
This is true. Actually, I think this would be the time to use it for sure. Like I said, not familiar with this setting, so I didn't remember that. So yeah, I'm going ahead and use more upset than injured. So we're gonna take no damage and 5 strain, which will put me right. Yeah.
Yep. There you go. So you slam down, but you managed to spring back up. It really didn't hurt that bad, but it was deeply, deeply embarrassing. And you're
Yeah.
completely winded. And you have to use that story point, don't you?
Yeah, I believe so. I'll just... Oh, whoops. Sorry, did the wrong thing.
Click
There we go.
There you go.
All right, you do still have your maneuvers.
Okay. Is it possible to spin that advantage at all from the athletics check despite the failure?
I thought you already used it to reduce strain.
Yeah, you did. That was.
Oh, that was the sorry, I was looking
Yeah.
at the wrong athletics. Sorry, I was thinking that that was the one for my climbing, but it was 0. You're right.
Would you like to move closer to the group?
Where
Right
am
now,
I in
you're
relation to
short
the
range from everybody.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Should you also pull out your weapons? Like maybe that's what you should do.
Well, either that or stand, because I'm assuming that I'm on the ground at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and. Well, no, I can't use the second maneuver, because if I did, I would be unconscious. So no, I will lay here on the ground.
So you lay
Oh.
there and you manage to pull. You just pull out your weapon then?
Yes, the weapon
Okay.
will be out, but I cannot stand. So
All right. Great.
that's turn.
Poor Steve.
Hey, that
We're
was
back to the
good.
top of the order. Who would like to take the first PC slot? All right.
I'm continuing the advantage because they're prone and they're vulnerable.
Yep. So you get 2 boosts when attacking a prone target, right? In melee, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. It's at least 1.
Yeah. Also,
Well-
I think we forgot they have to take a fear check when they became engaged with me because of my talents.
Right,
If
here's some.
the GM decides it is applicable, demons do not feel fear.
Fair enough.
So yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, I am going to, of course. First, I'm going to spend 1 maneuver to sort of toss heal X tab to Axel.
All right.
Take 2 strain to take another maneuver to aim, and then strike.
Okay. So you're gonna get that extra gold. You're gonna get a boost. You're gonna have 3 total boosts.
Yeah.
See what you can do with your demon bane.
Okay, I add another yellow and 3 boosts. Okay. What the heck happened? It only did 1.
You
How much
didn't
did I-
roll it as your weapon, but that's fine. What would your damage be?
Well, hold up, I didn't roll enough yellows.
Oh, yeah. All right, just cancel that roll. Just ignore it. Delete it. Pretend it never happened. Start fresh. Roll it as your weapon. All right, you've got your weapon in here, don't you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, that's better.
All right, so not a ton of damage again. You're barely getting through their soak, but a bunch of advantages. What would you like to do?
Actually, I might have something. Give me a second.
Sure.
Actually, I can activate a burn quality.
Your weapon has burn?
It's a radiant weapon, so yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Hit some burn. What's the burn rating?
Burn rating is just 1, and stun 2, actually.
Okay, so you can activate that as well?
Yeah, pretty much.
What's the stun rating?
2.
Okay, so they take 2 from that, and then they are burning for... That starts on their turn. Okay, great. That works. Cool. I think... Yeah, all right. Next PC slot. Who's going?
Would anyone mind if I like
Get away.
He's over half his threat.
okay. I've got the
And no
setback.
setback for darkness. There is a setback for the shaking and chaos.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so on Surgeon, the target heals 3 additional wounds.
Oh, nice. So 6 back.
Hopefully that
Nice.
helps.
Excellent.
It does.
So yeah, one of your little medical arm comes out and like quickly sort of scans over his many bruises and sprains, and you sort of like apply rapid pressure and inject him with a few needles coming out of a bunch of different arms. And yeah, suddenly feeling a lot more together. Still very exhausted. I will be nice and I'm not going to make those threats go to strain for Axel. I'll have them go to strain for Alex. Oh, actually, no. I take that back. I'm going to have them be setbacks for Axel.
Each one or
right.
1-to-1?
1-to-1, yeah.
Yep.
All right. The demons are like sort of gathering themselves. And they manage to spring back up onto their feet. But as you see them spring back onto their feet, Semyaza, you think you've sort of got the upper hand here. And they're going to attack. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. Great. But a fourth demon bursts up from the ground beneath you. Same type of demon. They're all these little ones. And the four of them swarm and slash and bite. You manage to knock a couple back with your wings. You do defend yourself somewhat, but they hit you, and I'm going to use that triumph to roll a crit. So, do you know how to roll a crit for yourself on here?
Not on here, no.
Okay, I will do it then. Can I do that when I'm not you?
Is it the little button? Is it like the little guys or polyhedron symbol to the right above the skill thing?
It is,
Yeah,
yeah.
but there's supposed to be one that literally rolls a crit and applies it to your.
Yeah, if you click on the
Players can do it for
polyhedral thing,
themselves, I think, Jack.
Okay, I see. And quick question. They have vicious. Doesn't that mean I add 10?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Okay. Yeah, so you're completely taken aback by this fourth member of the group who bursts up, and you find yourself in your defensive effort totally disoriented. So, yeah, you're going to miss that next free maneuver. And you take, right, what's your damage? You take 5 before soak?
Maybe like I have a soak of 3, so that means 2 damage.
Yep, 2 wounds. Yeah, and you see these little demons with glowing feathers in their mouths just ripped off of you. Yeah, it's disorienting. It's difficult. Okay. PC slot, Steve or Axel?
oh, my turn will be real quick, so I'll just get it over with. I stand. I use my action as my second maneuver, so I don't take strain, and now I'm engaged. Done.
Okay.
And these demons are at short range from Axel, is that right?
Yep, right now they're only engaged with Semyaza.
Well, and Steve, if you just step forward.
Aren't they also engaged with Steve?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Steve just engaged. Yes.
Fine. Well, Axel can't. Axel can't afford the maneuvers to do anything more, so he'll step forwards.
I did just give you a heal X tab.
Yeah, but it's a maneuver for me to take that, I think, is it not?
Yeah, it is a maneuver.
Yeah, but it'll heal you 5 wounds.
It's the strain that I'm worried about, not the wounds. Axel step forwards, some more smashing of the guitar to generate some cacophonous sounds, try and drive these beasts back a bit.
All right, go for it. You get your 1 setback for the physical situation down here.
Yep, plus the 2 for the those threat. Feeling a bit woozy.
And I'm going to use a story point to upgrade your check as well.
Yeah, sure. All right, let's do it. Way.
12 damage. Okay.
12 damage. And
wow.
right, Jack, you tell me how if this would work. So, Axel has the sweeping blow talent, which lets me inflict another hit on another target. They have to be smaller than me, which these things are. Has to be the same difficulty to hit or less, which these things are. They're all one minion group. Can I hit another minion?
I'm honestly not sure. That's a good question.
It just says another target, and it's not blast or anything special like that, where there's been, rulings about it.
Yeah.
I will defer to your judgment.
Say no because of the threats for now.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fair. All right, then Axel steps forwards and blasts them with a wall of sound. This is straight. Oh, they're minions. It won't make any difference, but it's stun damage.
Okay. You know, I'm actually having a thought. I would say no, this does not apply against multiple people within the same minion group because they're not separate target, right?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Because otherwise, could you just do it as many as there are? So yeah.
No, it's only one more. It's only against one more.
So actually, here's what I'm going to have happen: is your threats are going to come in as strain, and they are going to knock you out.
Yep.
The effort of your like massive blow, you come in and you like obliterate 3 of these demons, send them flying back and slamming into the walls of this pit you're in. But the
reverb,
yeah,
the reverb gets me.
Did they take the burn damage, by the way, from last time?
Say that again?
Did they take the burn damage on their turn? I didn't see you adding for that.
Oh no, you're right. You totally missed that. They're dead. They are dead. The last one in its terror sort of like burns up with this holy fire and crumbles away. And the song stops. You have a brief interlude where the city has stopped dancing. Everybody can go ahead and make strain recovery rolls.
Axel is still unconscious.
Okay.
I rolled 2 success and 4 advantages. That means just recover 2 strain, and what do I do for all those advantages? Nothing?
Yeah, advantages do nothing on a strain recovery roll, unfortunately. Alright, don't mind me messing with all these wound counts. I'm just getting rid of them. Alright. Okay, so everybody did their strain recovery.
I do have some hand brew that I could give to someone who needs it.
Yeah, you may need to feed it to the unconscious Axel to get him up.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. How much does hand brew recover again? It's like
Half of your
the
strain threshold. Yeah.
Ugh. Whew.
See, there's a moment of quiet aside from all the screaming and terror in this cave. The injured people down there, they're all conscious and they're all terrified by what just happened. So what do you all do?
Is there anyone among them who's like too injured to move, or can we start trying to help them get out of this pit?
No, but yeah, they would all need your assistance to get out for sure.
Friends, would you like to help me aid these people?
Quick question. Are any of them small enough, especially kids, that I can just float them up on my wings?
Yeah, what's your encumbrance threshold? How much can you carry? I would say you can only fit 3 more encumbrance. I think the only one you can carry up is Steve.
So small.
The others are all full-sized, normal human scale. But I think Axel could easily heft one of them out of there. Everything is not shaking right now, and the dust has kind of settled. So I'll allow you guys to get all of them out without making any rolls. It's just going to take you some time.
Yeah, Axel will help them all out and give them flyers for his next concert when we get to the top.
So you get up onto the street, and it is a scene of utter chaos, but you are close to the concert venue. And the good Dr. Housey is preparing for his next song. Right now, he's working the crowd because he understands like a broad variety of equations have demonstrated how important crowd work is in the show.
Hey, little man, look, it's Dr. Housey. Axel is incredibly excited.
I am flying that way right away.
Okay, so you're headed over there. Are you all just going towards the stage?
Axel's trying to get in the down the front in the crowd, get in the mix.
All right, so Axel's getting ready to just go and mosh.
He's getting in the mosh pit, yeah.
All right. Semyaza, what are you doing? Are you flying over the crowd?
Of course.
Okay. Steve, Allie?
Wondering if we should like ask if they should turn it down just a smidge, just to reduce the, damage and chaos
Yes.
to the city. Is there like
Well-
a stagehand we can, by the way, it's spreading damage.
Yeah, but it's not going to be easy to get there. I mean, Semyaza could get there easily. So yeah, Semyaza, that's your approach.
Yeah.
that what you're
Let me know when I get there appropriately.
Yeah, I think the next song starts up. And Dr. Housey has a series of chainsaws and buzzsaws that he is vigorously applying to a collection of antique wooden instruments. Despite that, it is not just the sound of things being wrecked. It's like he's achieving each instrument's beautiful dying breath in this process. And it's really an incredible display. But he is wrecking those things. And again, the crowd immediately begins moshing, frothing. In the middle is a set of huge saurians, the dinosaur people of the Crucible. And they are like spinning around. Their tails are sending goblins and elves soaring through the air. The mosh pit is intense. So you can get up to the stage area. You can tell that if you try to approach like the actual stage where the show is playing, there would be efforts to intercept you, Semyaza. But you could get to like around the side, maybe communicate with a roadie or something.
Quick question. Is there any chance if I just flash my weapons that whoever's in front would let me pass?
Well, maybe you could use fearsome on them.
That too, and yeah, plus coercion, so I'll try that first to see if I can just go up to whoever the guards are and just make them move.
Yeah, so that'll be just against a 2 difficulty. Well, I know, I guess they make a fear check, right? So
Yes,
what
they
is
do. Difficulty 2.
All right. Difficulty 2. I'm gonna. Yeah, I think we'll just take that. Roll the dice. No success, and they got a stack of threats. So I think they crumble pretty easily. Whatever you want. They are like terrified by
I just tell them, instead of my usual greeting of "fear not," I just tell them "fear."
They do. They fear a great deal. But what are you doing with that? I mean, you want them to scatter and run away?
Pretty much. I want to get onto the stage and be able to talk to the guy now.
All right. They get out of your way and you get onto the stage where there is Doctor. Are you going to try and fear him?
I'm gonna treat him, and or coercion. Like either that or coercion. What do you guys think is the better choice here? Using the fear thing again, or just go straight to coercion and tell him that this must stop now?
I think coercion would make more sense, right? The fear is generally a little more passive.
You're like actively trying to tell them what you need them to do. So
Yeah.
That makes sense. If things get aggressive, I might fear the fear, but
yeah.
All right. So yeah, it's gonna be against 2 reds and a purple. Oops. Ignore that. Okay, so you go up in the middle of this show to try and interrupt Dr. Housey as he is performing his masterpiece. He does not care at all. He is up there, his many bladed implements tearing apart an orchestra's worth of instruments. And you're just another person trying to get a. I think you can use that to recover a strain or maybe carry it forward. Let's check in with everybody else. Steve, Axel, Allie, what are you up to?
So has the music stopped, or is it still going?
No, he's not stopping. This people come up on stage for him all the time. That's calculated.
Yeah, then I think Axel is enjoying the show, basically.
All right. Okay. The ground. Well, let's hear Allie and Steve as well.
Allie's just going to be trying to like find, the stage manager or if there's no one around who looks like that, trying to get up to this Dr. Housey and try to aid in like, Semyaza and getting this destructive.
All right. Well, why don't we get a leadership check from you to deal with like all these people in the back who you have to get through? Give me a hard leadership check to represent the general effort to work your way through all of the blocks that would be obstructing.
Use our last story point. It just feels like it might be a waste. You know what? If this works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
No, you are booted. Nobody wants to interrupt this show. So they toss you back out and you take a strain. And Steve.
Steve is feeling pretty winded at the moment. So he is seeing as one of the people of this group or is up on stage. He assumes that whatever he's doing is going to work. The other one's enjoying the concert. He's just going to kind of saunter up next, like near the back and just kind of try to relax for a moment because he's feeling a little bit stressed.
So he's just gonna try and like enjoy the music?
Just for a moment, yes.
All right. I'll allow you to basically make an additional strain recovery roll here then.
Alrighty.
Given that I think the music would have that effect if you were able to put yourself in the right frame.
Right.
Nope. The encounter with the demons, the down the pit, has Steve shaken and very angry. And then I'm going to flip a story point. The city shakes again and like jerks downward. And Steve, as you're trying to relax, instead you become the first person to notice the water that is rushing in towards the concert.
So Steve will attempt to run toward the stage, but not because he wants to do anything other than just be on higher ground. Or is there anything higher than the stage just in the immediate eye shot?
I mean, you could climb up the whole stage apparatus, the lighting and sound system and all that. Otherwise, you'd climb a tree, maybe. The buildings, you're in the park, so the buildings aren't very close.
Yeah, we'll just try to scamper up a reasonably, a reasonably tall tree, not super high, but
Okay, give me an easy athletics check, and I'll give you these advantages. I'll let you use one of them as a boost.
ready. Hey, I succeed in something.
And maybe you could recover some strain with those two advantages.
That is exactly what I'm gonna do. All right.
Yeah, so you climb up into this tree that is holding big, meaty fruit. Each fruit has one facial organ on it. They do not all have the same facial organ. And they're all just sort of, the mouths are breathing uncomfortably. The eyes just blink at you, doing the things that disembodied facial organs do.
Just
Okay.
concerned, but he's seen stranger.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, Allie, so you couldn't get through. Axel, you're just jamming. And the water comes through the crowd. It goes from muddy to marshy and dangerous. I mean, it's already very dangerous. But, yeah, the city is clearly descending. Must be thinking that it can dance better fully submerged. And you don't have a lot of time. So what would somebody tell me what to do, what you are doing?
Well, I'm going to look to see if I can see any sort of microphones, wires, connections. Basically, he has to be amplifying his stuff somehow. I'm not super confident about going directly against his buzzsaws that he's got whirling around, but if I can cut the connection.
All right, make a mechanics check. I think.
You sure that's not perception?
Yeah, because I think you're trying to understand what is like the critical. Right? You can see all of the wires. The problem is not perceiving them. The problem is understanding. Like, okay, if I cut this one wire, is that going to one that shuts it down?
I mean, I don't exactly care how many wires I cut at this point.
But there's so many that it would take you time. So if you want to do it efficiently, then I think you're going to require a mechanics check.
You know what? That's fair. What's the difficulty?
2. But I'm going to give you a setback just because of the chaos of everything. And the time pressure in particular. Yeah, really the only approach you can take is just going to be to smash at stuff and hope you don't get stopped before you find the thing to smash.
Yeah, unless I get some reinforcements up there, that's what...
Yeah, and the security guards are closing in on you. Their initial fear has worn off, and they're now going to try and get you out of here.
Any way we can like
Can I just float up and get at wires that are higher up out of their reach?
Yeah, but some of them can fly. This is the Crucible. You got
at least cut the numbers down.
Yeah. There is one minion group of guards that are float right up after. Allie, what were you going to say?
Is there a way we could sneak backstage and then maybe find a stage access to like try to help Simiyaza?
Yeah, I think a stealth check would allow you to sneak around through all this craziness. I will give you a hard difficulty, same as the leadership check was to get your way through. But I think here I'm happy giving you 2 setbacks because it is so chaotic. Or 2 boosts, 2 boosts.
Yay.
Yes.
So, with water rising, you like slip through all the madness and find a door. A group of roadies burst out the back of the door. They're trying to keep everything functional as the water floods in, and you manage to slip right in the door as they open it up. You find yourself in a long hallway that stretches behind and underneath the stage. There are wires everywhere.
Oh no. Are any of these maybe critical to the audio going on?
I would need a mechanics check from you as well to determine that.
I'll
Two
give it a
difficulty
shot.
with a setback.
It's not meant to be.
You can't tell. Unfortunately, what is clear is that they're water because they are submerged and they are functioning. You actually get down to investigate one, and it causes a nasty shot as you mess around a little too much in the madness. So take a strain from that.
There we
Steve
go.
in the tree.
Well, now that I see that I wasn't going to get washed away, that was his initial impression.
Oh, no, I think that's still a strong possibility. The water is rising.
All right. About how quick? Is this water
Maybe a foot every minute.
Okay, so he has a little bit of time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so seeing as this hasn't stopped, and he's not seeing, from his point of view now in the tree, that anyone is doing anything to stop it, he's going to
Shouldn't you be able to see me just flying up and pulling at wires?
Yeah,
he's
I
behind
see
the
that.
stage, so I don't think he does, right? Aren't you behind the stage?
Oh yeah, you know what? You'd be right. Yeah, I wouldn't have been right there in front. And even still, even if he would have seen that, the music hasn't stopped. So in his mind, whatever you're doing is ineffective. So he is going to try to make his own way onto stage, and he is going to try to end this in the only way he knows how.
Okay, so you can head down and move through the water, which is difficult terrain, right?
You have Swift.
You do have Swift. You still need to get down fairly safely, but I think fall damage would be reduced, whatever. Or you could try going through the canopy of the tree to the back of the stage,
You know,
which would be a
I guess-
coordination check.
Coordination. All right. You know, let's give it a shot. Why not?
All right, so squirrel-like, you try to cross from tree to tree to hop up on the back of the stage. So give me a hard coordination check with a setback because of the shaking.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use a story point here. The setback. I'm reasonably certain I can't add anything else here. No. All right. No, I do have one advantage, but do fail.
Okay, you don't fall. You just can't find a path that will support your weight to get there.
Sounds good.
And that advantage is you not falling.
Sounds good. All right.
So yeah, you're kind of stranded unless you head down.
Yeah, he would go ahead and head down then if there's
All right.
non-usable path.
All right, so it's taking you a little time to climb down. While you do that, Axel, the water is still not quite to your knees. That means for a lot of people around you, it is getting to waist high.
Sure.
You see a few people just starting to float, goblins in particular. And you see a squad of revelers speed in on boats right into the crowd, through the crowd, knocking people aside, heading up towards stage on speed boats. They're not here to interrupt, they are here to party. So the situation down here is getting extremely chaotic. The show goes on.
Quick question: like, given the guards are coming after me, is it easier, you think, to get to the stage?
I think it would be easier to get to the stage, yeah. And I think given that other people are now having to swim and Axel can still walk, if he wants to get to the stage, he might just want to keep jamming.
Well, Jack, is there a way? You tell me. I'll spend the story point if you need me to. Axel sees these people coming. Sees this might be his opportunity to get to the stage 2, and therefore be an official backup musician for the great Dr. Housey. This is his moment. Can I get to that boat and get on the stage with them?
Yeah, so what would you think you would do to get on one of these boats? How do you imagine that happening?
Striding out through the crowd, leaping onto the boat, something like that.
All right, give me an athletics check as one of these. Actually, maybe I want a coordination check. I want you to respond quickly enough to hop on a boat as it's sort of speeding past.
Sure. How tricky?
We'll call it a 2 difficulty with a set.
Okay.
2 setbacks.
Sure. All right. Well, here goes nothing. Ooh, don't quite make it.
So you jump at the boat and you like slam onto it for a moment, and one of the guys has a cybernetically attached beer keg on top of his head that is like piping beer directly into his mouth. Sort of headbutts you and knocks you back into the wall. It's like, yeah!
Big splash. Axel comes up shaking
What's
his head.
like or something, or something so like tall if you could successfully headbutt you.
All right, Semyaza, you are floating up towards some of the higher speakers, and the balloon guards are pursuing you. They have strings for hands, and they're wielding little stun batons.
Okay, first off, if any of them get close to me, the fear R is going up.
Yes. Okay.
So, secondly, I am just going to try to figure out, just start smashing stuff. Like, do I do mechanics check, brawl check? Like, what's the appropriate check for me? Like,
I think at this point, the real difficulty is this is a matter of time, right? How quickly you can get this done. So, I think what I'm going to want from you, and I'm going to enter like a sort of a loose round structure here, is basically I'm going to need 2 rounds of, maybe 3 rounds. Yeah, we'll call it 3 rounds of maneuver to successfully mess this up. You can take your other actions, but we're entering like initiative here, but we're keeping it loose in terms of like a social initiative, right? But each round you need to send a maneuver to mess this up. Once you've done that 3 times, then you'll have done it. At least this
can I
set.
spend 2 maneuvers in an action by taking strain?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm taking 2 maneuvers, and then I am going to yell back at the guards approaching. Do not interfere, or rather, you must interfere, or millions will drown. Ah.
Okay, so coercion?
Yes, definitely coercion.
All right. I'll give you a boost because I think you were making a good point, but I'll give you a setback because they love the show. But there's only a couple people, so it's too difficult. No good. They are coming. Yeah, and they engage
How
with
the
you. I know. It's such bad
These
luck.
dice, these
Welcome
dice
to my
hate it.
rolls this game.
Yeah.
I think I've succeeded on a single check.
Yeah, so that's bad luck. But what are you going to do? Yeah, 0 successes, 1 advantage. Yeah, they're going to engage with you. I'll let you use that advantage to sort of slow them down. And they're going to have to make that fear check right away. Oh, sorry, that's okay. No. Oh, unsuccessful. So I think they're going to take strain. So they approach you. Um, one of them approaches you. The other one turns and flees. And he's going to make a check to try and restrain you. No, no good. But the two advantages, no, that's all. We'll just say that they're going to take away your free maneuver for the next turn.
Got it. I only take one more maneuver anyway. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Who should? Steve, up in the trees. You've made your way down. You're gonna have to swim, which counts as difficult terrain, but you have swift, so you can swim at full speed.
Yep. So I am going as quickly as I can to get up on this stage.
All right. So you swim over to the bottom of it. We'll call that a maneuver. It would be an athletics check to climb up. Not a very hard one, though.
Okay. Give it a go.
Yeah, just a one difficulty because it's essentially a scaffold.
Yeah.
But with a setback for the shaking.
Yep. Okay.
There you go. A successful roll.
All right.
Yeah, so you make your way up to the very top of the stage. You are above where Semyaza is, right? Semyaza is right underneath the ceiling of the stage. You make your way up to the very top, and you see something very alarming.
Oh.
It is in a spot that is not visible to the crowd and sort of a little tent-like structure on the stage is a pair of demons. These are substantially larger than the demons that were down in the pit. And they appear to be in some sort of heightened state of ecstasy as they're soaking in like this extreme intensity of emotion from the concert. They're not looking hostile. I don't think they've... Did you have a threat or an advantage? Oh, no. They notice you. And maybe they are looking a little hostile. There's really no way to tell if a demon is trying to kill you or not until they start swinging at you. But that may be the reasonable assumption. So I'm going to let Axel and Allie decide what they do narratively this turn, and then we're going to enter a formal initiative. So, Allie, what are you doing narratively?
Since I didn't have good luck figuring out which wires were which, can I make my way down the hall and try to reach the stage where Semyaza is at?
Yes. Yeah, I'll say you can get there if you just sort of use your time to head up.
Yep, that'll be my main focus.
All right. Do you want to try and take an action when you get out stage? Dr. Housey has now introduced a series of artillery cannons into the show that he is firing up and over the crowd at big glass balls that are floating through the air. And as each one explodes, it is releasing this musical note of heart-shaking beauty. That's what you're seeing up there. What do you do? Do you want to take an action, or are you just going to get up there and sort of survey the situation?
I mostly want, if I could try and convince him to just, maybe turn the noise down just a bit, so that way we don't all drown. Or at least the organics.
Maybe negotiation, I think.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, negotiation. Okay, and that would be against his negotiation, which is 2. So just 2 purples. But I'm going to give you a setback because... I think I'm going to give you 2 setbacks because nothing stops Dr. Housey in the middle of his show.
Sounds like it goes up against one of his motivations, hence the setbacks.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna use that last story point and upgrade my check. Fingers crossed. Oh,
Yeah, he's got no interest in listening to you, this doctor. I'm going to reveal him fully. It's going to say Logos Field Research. That's Dr. Housey. All right, and Axel, you see Allie up on stage pleading unsuccessfully with Dr. Housey. I don't think you're far from stage, and the water is, now above your knees. Most people are having to wade chest deep or swim.
Well, seeing his newfound friends up on stage in this boat that's probably just cleared the way, Axel's heading up there. Still seeing his moment to shine.
Okay.
Maybe he's playing the guitar as he goes.
Sounds good. All right, yeah, I think you can get up there at this point. It's just going to take you 2 maneuvers to get through the crowd. I'm just going to simply treat the crowd and water as difficult terrain here for you. You can get up there in 2 maneuvers. So are you going to use your action or spend strain?
I'll use the action to get up there, yeah.
Okay. Now, let's actually roll initiative.
Setbacks or whatever, and obviously we're using.
Say that again?
We're using cool, and I'm guessing, are there any advantages, setbacks, or whatever?
Yep. I don't think there's really going to be advantages or setbacks that I can think of on this. Right? I mean, if you can think of something, or boosts and setbacks, I think we can just make the rolls. All right. There we go. Everybody's on. So we're going to start with Dr. Housey is going to go first. So Dr. Housey is getting a little tired of these efforts at interruption from you. And Allie, he is going to turn on you with, all of his musical might. So I think you're at short range from him right now, I'd say.
could I possibly use that triumph to have my get my little shaky arm out?
Oh, I didn't even realize you got a triumph earlier. Yeah, I think you can do more than that.
Well, I think it's just a free maneuver at the start of initiative, right?
Oh. Yeah, that was on your initiative. Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I just want to have my little shaky arm at the ready, and
Cool.
I don't want to
All
be
right.
threatening with it yet.
Yeah. And I think it's hard to tell where Dr. Housey is looking because he's just this little cylindrical drum with all these. But there is a blast of energy from him in your direction, and it's going to hit. Yeah, so he takes a maneuver to sort of ready this up, and then he blasts you with it. So you take 8 damage pre-soak.
Oh my goodness. Let's see, what is my soak? Okay. Okay.
And he's going to activate Sunder, using 2 of those, to damage your weapon. So it's going to have a setback on all of its rolls.
Is reinforced.
Oh, it's reinforced?
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind. He fails to do so. He tries, but it doesn't work. Nice.
I hope he doesn't try to do that on my chassis. So Allie doesn't have any armor.
Okay. All right. And the crowd all just thinks this is part of the show, even as they're sinking. You notice, though, that the stage is not sinking. It is staying more or less level with the water deeper. Doesn't seem like it's floating, but more like it's on some sort of hydraulic lift that is raising it up as the water goes. All right. We got another NPC slot. Since they're already engaged, I'm going to have the two balloon enforcers try and bring down Semyaza. And they're going to take a maneuver to aim. 5 damage. It's all stun damage, though, Semyaza. So you take 5 strain.
Okay, but I'm still cancels that.
Yep, your soak still works because it's stun damage.
Okay, so just 2 strain.
Yep. And then concussive would stagger you for a turn, right? Isn't that what that? So
sounds right.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and activate concussive. So you are staggered your next turn. So you have now been denied both your maneuver and your action for your next turn.
My free maneuver.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is spend 2 strain to take a maneuver.
Wait, I thought. Oh, right. Okay.
Because you're staggered for 1 round and they denied your. Okay, so it's a PC slot. Who wants to take it?
I only need to take 1 more maneuver, and if I take.
Yeah. If you do that, you will begin to properly disrupt the show.
Okay, I personally think I should go ahead and do that, just only to see.
All right. So you take a maneuver to knock down some of these speakers, which come crashing down below in the stage. I would like Axel and Allie and Dr. Housey, who are all the ones on the stage, to make easy coordination checks to not have these fall on them. Okay. Axel and Dr. Housey are both sort of caught underneath some of this debris and are each going to take 5 wounds. They're going to suffer those wounds. It's not damage, so no soak. Axel, you can use your advantages.
I'll get some strain back.
All right. And Allie, your threat is going to be... It's going to pass a... It's going to give you a setback as you sort of get your feet underneath you on your next turn. All right. Next, PC slot. Semyaza went. Who'd like to go next? Steve, you are up there with the demons, just as a reminder. They are, right now, probably about medium range from you.
Okay. And how close are they to, like, an edge?
Actually, I think they're short range from you, and I think they're short range from any edge. They're, like, right in the center of all of this.
Okay. Well, Steve doesn't know what these are because, as I said, he's new. So he saw them early. He saw something similar earlier, and they didn't seem very nice. So he's just going to go ahead and he thinks they might be part of the reason why this is all happening, perhaps. in addition to all this loud sound. So he is gonna try to walk up and take a swing at one of these things. These are adversaries. This is not a minion group, right? They're two individual.
They're two rivals. Yep.
Okay, that's okay.
So you've got two demons there. You've got a larger one that's probably like 8 feet tall and has like swirling chains all around it and a huge scythe-like blade. And then you've got another that's more human-sized on big goat-type metal legs, hunched over with one long curved sword. They look pretty serious. I think it would be safe for Steve to assume that if he were to try and fight these straight up, it would almost certainly not go well.
Okay, yeah. Now that you're describing them, I'm starting to think about rescinding that course of action instead.
But yeah, if you want to like reconsider in light of that information,
right? Are there any visible speakers, wires, miscellaneous things that would directly affect the concert up here?
I think in the same way I'd want a mechanics check from you. Too difficult. Skullduggery could maybe also make sense, given that you're a rogue.
Okay. And how difficult?
And a setback just for the pressure of the time.
Yeah. How difficult was it? I'm sorry, I missed that.
2. I would say this whole area up here, because it's not like a single solid structure, is also difficult terrain. So that is to your. Yeah, you can see a wire underneath you that would probably have a pretty significant effect, like the main central power line. You want to just use this skullduggery check, roll right into taking it?
Yeah, if I see something that I think is going to cut the power, then that's exactly what he's going to try to do.
You just hack at it?
Yep.
All right, and yeah, so you hack at it, and it like blasts you, and I'm going to say it knocks you prone up here. But between the speakers that fell up front and this big sort of power you cut, the show seems to actually properly be coming apart up front. There is still music playing, but it is much quieter. The mix is all messed up. You can hear the crowd is very unhappy. And the demons seem to have a response to you messing with this situation, I would say.
That is fair. Well.
Any maneuvers you're going to use?
Yeah. So you said I was knocked prone. I don't believe I have. Did not take jump up. So I'm going to spend a maneuver to stand back up, and then I guess a second maneuver to. So when oh no, because I guess I couldn't go any further back because I'm pretty much just right where I climbed up, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah, so I can't really move any further away from them. No, that's it then. Stand and be ready.
Okay. All right, we're going to have...
Stance?
What?
I was wondering if you wanted to take a defensive stance.
He's pretty rough on strain.
Yeah, it's more the strain of taking the defensive stance will actually be less useful to me. So nope, I'm just gonna try to weather it.
And the demons, well, new NPC slot is up next. So we're going to have the taller demon step out from this little shelter they've got up there towards you. It's like blades and chains clinking and clacking. Strange sounds are coming from it that you certainly can't understand. Yeah, okay. But I think in its movement, I'll say this, Semiaza, give me a vigilance check out of turn. Just 2 difficulty.
Me?
Yeah, because you're up there. You're actually fairly close to this. You're on the underside. But it's not a solid structure. So basically, I just want to see if you notice the demon moving out of its little space.
Are there any other bonuses or setbacks?
I don't really. I can't think of any, to be honest.
Okay.
I think this is straightforward. Okay. You don't notice, but 4 advantage. I'm going to say this.
Can use those advantages to just make another error.
I have an idea. I know what I'm going to do with those. As the pit demon steps out, it's a pit demon, by the way. Let me go ahead and throw its name up there. As the pit demon steps out from its little shelter, you don't notice it, Semyaza, because of everything you're dealing with down below. But what you see, Steve, is that the demon notices Semyaza. And sort of recognizes it as some sort of particular threat. And it takes a maneuver to approach you, but then reconsiders and takes a maneuver to clamber towards the edge that would bring it closer to Semyaza. So in the end, it didn't actually move any closer to you. And it couldn't reach you because of all the difficult terrain. So it is making a move towards Semyaza. The other demon, though, makes a move towards you. And it uses both maneuvers to cross the difficult terrain and get into engaged range. All right. PC slot.
So some of these enforcers are up on stage trying to stop Semyaza, right?
Yeah.
If there are any that are nearby, because I think. Well, wait. So Dr. Housey, he got stuck under a speaker, right?
No, he's not stuck. He got hurt by it, though.
Okay. And is Axel trapped, or is he also just wounded?
Also just hurt.
Okay. I think what I'd like to do then is Axel very far away from me?
He's short range.
I think I'll move closer to Axel, and I am going to use one of my Helix tab things to help Axel recover some wounds.
Okay, I'd say that's 2 maneuvers, right? To move and then to administer.
Yeah.
So Axel, you'll heal
5 back, right?
Yep.
Cool, thank you.
Are any enforcers considered within engaged range of Axel? If not, then I'll go
No,
and
right now on the stage is really just you 3.
Okay. I'm going to downgrade my action then to do those 2 maneuvers without taking strain.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
All right, next NPC slot, that's the other demon moving towards Steve. So last PC slot, that's Axel.
Yeah, so I'm on the stage, and Ali has just come and healed me. Thank you, robot. Can I see what can I see other than the crowd and Dr. Housey trapped underneath the speaker? Like these demons that are around, can
So
Axel
the demons
see
are on top of the whole stage apparatus, right?
fine. So Axel can't see them for now.
I mean, you could take a check to look around and see if you see them, but I don't think
No reason for him to look for them though at the moment.
Right.
Fine. Well, and Dr. Housey, those of us, the 2 of us on the stage, or Ali and I, he's not aggressive to us at the moment, right?
No, he is. He attacked Ali on the last round.
Fine. All right. Well,
this is looking more and more like a traditional Brobnar, which means violent.
This guy was rude.
Yeah, their concerts can apparently level cities, so.
Yeah.
Well, then I think it's time to battle of the bands.
Yeah, they say it's the difference between the battle of the bands and just a battle in Brobnar society is
slim. Fine. How far away is he?
short range from you.
Okie doke. All right. So Axel will start playing. I'm going to use the anthem talent. Start playing a song for all of us.
Okay.
So with a combination of anthem, everyone gets a boost die on everything. I have to spend a maneuver every turn to keep it going.
Yep. What's the
everyone
range
within?
on your anthem?
Well, it's everyone within short range, but this anthem, this guitar, goes up to 11, so it's actually medium range.
Okay, I think that will affect everybody here. Then.
Fantastic. So, and then Axel will step into engaged range, and having seen this attack, is gonna throw one back at Dr. Housey.
Do
Okay.
we take strain for another maneuver? Like, back to the.
Yep, I will. Yep.
Okay, just checking.
Which of the Dr. Housey is the Logos
The
field
Logos
researcher?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, bro.
All right, hit him.
Okay, yeah. Let's see if it goes. It does. He gets hit with a blast of sound.
You have been the most damaging person this time with your giant man.
Yeah, man. Let me see what he's got defensive.
No, is he also still trapped under a speaker?
He wasn't trapped. He just got hit by it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you take him out. You like blast Dr. Housey off the stage with one huge riff and send him flying into the water.
What do the crowd think of that?
They love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, the crowd this is like hands down the greatest concert any of them have ever seen.
So Axel is turning around and is then, strutting about the stage.
Yeah.
Showing off.
For sure.
Strain for that threat or something else?
I
can see strain. This Dr. Housey
was. I think a strain.
Must have been a fan. So as much as the fame is rushing to his head, he's probably, there's part of him thinking, "Oh no, what have I done?"
Hey, you've upstaged him.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we have NPC slot. All right, Steve, the demon that is. We're on to the second round. Steve, the demon that is up there with you, swings its sword out wide. Its head like turns and twists uncomfortably, and it attacks with one big step forward.
Ready.
I think it still gets a setback from all the shaking.
The factors in range and melee defense, or just defense in general, rather.
9 damage before soak.
Right.
As this sword comes through and you try and deflect with the boom, but it knocks right through and hits you hard.
Ready.
And then it hunkers into a defensive stance.
Steve would just kind of look at this thing and be like, "This is one of the worst concerts I've ever been to."
All right, next NPC slot. These are going to be the enforcers again, attacking Semyaza. And they will take a maneuver to aim. All right. 6 strain before your soak. Semyaza, and 1 advantage that's going to be a boost for them the next time they act, as they sort of get themselves advantageously positioned. These are the balloon guards. All right, we got
Is there
PC
any
slot.
chance that they see the demons?
Yeah, you know what? Why don't we use their advantage for that? To say that they see the demons. They look up and notice the demon crawling right above them. All right, Semyaza, I think at this point you can notice the demons. I think it's your turn. You guys decide how you want to do your turns. But I think whenever you do take your turn at this point, Semyaza, you'll see the demon.
Okay. I do think it would make sense for me to, like, I'm okay with going first. And I don't have a strong preference.
Yeah, does anybody want to go? Does anybody have something?
Do you want to respond to the thing that?
Yeah, I guess I could attack.
No, yeah, you go for it. Axel's working the crowd.
So since this thing's engaged with me and we're engaged with each other, might as well respond to this thing's active aggression. So pulls are now wielding this oversized blade. Well, oversized for him rather. He is going to raise it above his head and try to slash right down. I mean, I imagine this thing, you said it's like 8 feet tall, so I imagine I'm only coming up to maybe knee height, if that.
Yeah, maybe the waist, if you're being optimistic.
Yeah.
I'll use a story point here to upgrade this check for you.
All right. Let me see if I have anything else. Just making sure.
Oh, don't forget your boost from
Yeah.
Axel's music.
Yes.
Okay. So. Boost die and upgraded with this. There's a setback, correct? For still all the stuff.
Yep.
Or is that? Okay.
Yep.
Just making sure. Oh, you know, I
Okay.
didn't actually roll. Didn't roll it as an attack. Sorry, I just rolled the skill. That was my bad.
Well, did you? So you didn't target the pit demon,
Yeah, I didn't target it. That was.
or this is not the pit demon. This is the other one. Yeah.
That was my bad.
Why don't you re-roll and target it properly? It has a number of things.
And let's see. There it is.
This is the guardian demon. I'll reveal their names to keep it clear.
You had the boost and the setback.
Boost. Setback.
You should already roll, yeah. See linked data.
Sorry, I haven't used this system before for this, so
No worries.
that did not do what it was supposed to do. Apparently I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, here, you know what? Let me roll it real quick. This stuff can happen on here.
That's a relief. It would have been awful.
Yeah, because I didn't roll any of my stuff. I was like, something's wrong here.
Second boost. There you go.
Setback. Okay, maybe I think I might have it. Let's try that. There it is.
There we go.
Well, so not as good as the first one, but pretty close.
Hold on, I have bad news. He has 2 defense. We need to roll.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, sorry.
all right.
Oh, but there you go. You still hit. You just have 1 threat instead of 1 success. So you hit, and your damage is what?
Well, that didn't. Yeah, for some reason it didn't link my damage. So I can just tell you.
Your damage is 6.
It's 6 plus, which is 3, so it's actually 9, and then the 1 success will make it.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
All
when
right.
this thing hits, it hits hard.
Yeah, clearly.
But it's all sorts of other fun stuff.
All right, so 9 damage. You get a pretty decent slap on this demon.
10. 10, right? For the
Oh, yeah, 10.
success.
So you cut a big gash through this demon's gut, and black and pink blood spills out all over your blade and the top of the venue. All right, that's turn.
Yeah, I will go ahead and I guess take a defensive stance now since I haven't used the maneuver. But other than that, yeah, that's turn.
Okay, cool. All right, we got a new PC slot. Who's up?
I'll go.
All right.
So I
Yeah,
am
you
going
see
to
these
I
demons
see
up here.
the demon above me with a quick remark of more view, of course. Of course, I guess I spent one maneuver to get up engaged to it.
Okay. Well, it'd be one maneuver to disengage, and then another to get up to engage. You got to sort of float around. But since you're currently engaged with these guards, I think it'll take you 2 maneuvers.
What I can do is maneuver back and then basically try to maybe I can coerce them and basically tell them, look, there's a bigger threat right there.
Yeah, you know what? I'll allow it. I'll allow it. For the drama. For the story. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's only short range to them, so you can drift around, and so they might be reconsidering who they're hostile toward. I think that makes sense.
And I will be getting a boost because of, still the music.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difficulty level?
Well, you're attacking them?
No, I'm coercing them.
No. I'm saying you don't need to. I don't think you need to do anything to force the guards. I think when they see the demons, they're not trying to stop you anymore. They're focused on the demons also. So they're no longer hostile to you.
Okay, in that case,
So I think
I
you
guess
can. Yeah, you can just move up to the demons. With the one demon, the closer one, the pit demon, and you can engage in battle if you would like.
do I know, if I float up but a little out of reach of the stage, uh, could it reach me?
If you can reach it, it can reach you because you're engaged range. Yeah.
Okay, but the idea is that what if I deliberately choose to just basically, if I just disengage with these guards, but don't go engage with it?
Then it can't attack you. Yeah. But you can't attack it either.
Yeah, let me check something real quickly. You know what? Screw it. I am going to get.
So are you attacking?
You said it would take 2 maneuvers to get there.
No. I took that back because you're not engaged. The guards are not trying to stop you anymore.
Oh, okay. In that case, yes, I am absolutely.
Okay. All right. Great.
And of course, that means I'll be able to upgrade the attack. And this one's the Guardian Demon, right? Or is it the Pit Demon?
The pit demon.
Okay, what does the red arrow mean?
That means it's being upgraded because they're an adversary. They have adversary.
Got it. But I get to upgrade twice. So.
Two successes, two advantages, and a triumph. Nice. So you're not hitting for a substantial amount of damage. In fact, you actually don't get through a soak.
Can I still get a critical hit?
No, you have to deal wounds to deal crit.
Can I just not cause the stage below to get damaged?
What do you mean?
Like when I attacked it, could that not enough to break it through, but I push it down and the stage below it just sort of breaks?
Oh, so like you knock it down to the actual stage, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
damn
look at that for sure. Yeah. That's a good use of a triumph. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you sort of like smack the demon and it throws up all of its defenses and it doesn't get hurt, but it slides backwards into a gap. And as its foot gets stuck, you sort of redirect your blow at the stage, which like breaks apart, and the demon falls. And the demon lands, and it takes falling damage. So it slams hard into the stage below, landing right in front of Axe. And yeah, it's prone, but it is now that demon's turn. So it stands up.
Can I
Like,
go ahead and use the advantages to recover strain?
yeah. So it stands up. And brings its many sharp implements to spare or to attack. I don't know what the word I was looking for there. And goes for you, Axe. Oops, did I miss the... I think the issues with the weapon attack roll are you have to click all of the elements on the weapon. If you don't click any of them, it'll still build a dice pool, but it'll be messed up. So you got to click a target and a range and the weapon.
Yeah.
All right. That's a big roll. I'm going to flip a story point to upgrade one of these. Okay. 3 successes. So you, as these like many blades come lashing at you, Axel, you throw up all the blocking you've got, but you can't keep them all away. And a big swing of claws catches through your guard. You take that nice stack of wounds.
Ouch.
All right. PC slot. I think Allie, you're the only one left.
Great. So the one that's attacking Axel, I'm close to Axel, right? I just healed him.
Yeah,
Did
you're
he
engaged with
move?
Axel because you came in to heal him up.
Okay, so can I go ahead and attempt to zap this thing that's trying to hurt him?
Certainly. Zap away.
All right. I am gonna give it a shot.
You want to aim first?
I think she does need to move to get engaged with it.
Okay, so I'll move up to it to engage, and that's is that the pit demon attacking him?
Yes, the pit demon.
Okay, so it'll be engaged.
Don't forget you get a boost from the music.
Yes, don't forget that. Very important.
It's from the music. It's upgraded once. The 2 purples. Are there any setback die or anything?
No, I think that the music has been disrupted enough. I mean, has stopped, right? That the city is no longer shaking, and is
So I'll get a
actually
boost.
starting to slowly raise back to the surface. So yeah, no, none of that. No setbacks that I can have for you besides defense.
I'm gonna use a story point then to upgrade my check once and uh, use my little zappy hand.
There you go. Why does it say 0 damage?
It should all be stun. I don't know why it says 0 damage. I don't. Did I roll it wrong?
Is it
Or
what
maybe
is
you
the
didn't
damage?
put it together right when in the
It's
maybe you
a
didn't set it up
it's a
right in the back end.
it's a +1 weapon, like a melee weapon, and my brawn
It's
is,
3. So yeah, it should be 4 as your base. Okay.
and
Um,
it's all strain because I don't. Ali,
yeah.
yeah,
But I see that it has Pierce also, which is good.
yes.
Um,
And,
okay, so 2 successes. Blah, blah, blah. All right, great. You hit it pretty good.
well, if there's anything I
Wait,
can
not that
do
much,
with
though.
the
Actually, I don't think you hit it very good, but you do pierce through, and you do actually manage to damage it.
I use those 2
As you wouldn't have
advantages
gotten through its soak.
to activate ensnare and kind of hold it in place.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
I'd like
Yeah,
to
I
do
think
that.
it's maneuvers for 1 turn.
Especially since it's already prone. Wait, you should have gotten an extra boost because it was prone in melee.
An
Don't think it
extra
was.
boost. No, it stood up on its turn.
You know what? Fair.
Yeah, it took a maneuver to stand on its turn, but it won't have any maneuvers now. There. So, excellent. Okay. I'm going to have the pit demon.
Jack,
Go ahead. Yes.
I think you might have missed Axel in this second round. I think I went
Did
last
I?
at the beginning of the first round.
Oh, well, my mistake, Axel.
No,
Yeah,
you
no
did
worries.
attack one of them. Remember, you did a big overhead swing against it.
I did that against the
Yeah,
Doctor. What's his name? Halsey. That was the end of the first round. Am I right?
I believe so. Right?
Yeah, I think we maybe stepped over a PC slot accidentally.
Yeah.
I think we might have. I'm looking at these rolls. Yeah, we did. Okay, yes. Take your turn now. I don't know where it should have been. Then we'll just
Yeah,
resume
sure.
it
I'll
from
just
there.
take that last PC slot. Yeah, that's fine. So this thing has just slashed into me, right?
Correct. And then gotten zapped by Allie.
And then gotten zapped. All right. Well, Axel, I think, is going to go berserk.
Yeah.
So I'll add a success and 2 advantages, but anyone that targets me adds a success. And I'll
All
probably
right.
pass out at the end of the encounter, but we'll see what
Yeah,
happens. So
that's a maneuver to activate, right?
it is a maneuver to activate, and I will keep the anthem going. So that's 2 maneuvers.
You're doing some
Uh,
serious headbanging up on stage.
Yep. But then I'll stride over it. So it's the pit demon I'm targeting, isn't it? I think.
Correct.
Yep. Brilliant. Pit demon, engage with this weapon. Add dice. I also add a success and 2 advantages. Any extra setback that should be in here?
Nothing extra, no. Nothing besides
Yep.
it's already built into its roll.
Okie doke. Brown! Blast of sound smashes into it.
I feel like that should be a critical hit.
Good thing you went berserk. Or that would not have worked. Okay, so yeah, you hit. That's a nice piece of damage there. Pretty good, pretty good. It is looking shaky and woozy. Do you want to inflict a critical or do what with that triumph? What do you
Well,
think?
I've only got stun damage, so I don't think I can inflict a critical.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Oh, I thought you couldn't. Fine. All right. Well, I could inflict a crit, or I could turn burn on because I've also got radiant. So this sound is going to be shaking it. I'll activate burn. I think
Okay. Yeah, so you
a gout of flame comes out of the bottom of the guitar.
perfect. Yeah. Love it. All right, you blast this demon and it is barely standing. So we are at the top of the order, NPC slot. The demon that is on top, that is with you, Steve. First, you see that the big wound you cut across it, starts to like close and heal up very quickly. And as it does that, the demon disengages from you and drops down through a hole in the like ceiling and sort of like moves to make its way down. Let's see if it can manage this. Okay. Yes, it does. So the demon makes its way down, and oh, I forgot one thing. As it is healing up there, Steve, the wound that closes on the demon opens up on you. It like transfers this gash you cut in it from itself to you, and you take 3 wounds.
Did you also subtract wounds from?
What?
Did you also subtract the wounds from the demon?
Yeah. I did. Now. And it makes its way down to get near the other demon. But it can't do anything else. So, yeah. Alright. We're going to have the guards go. And they're going to sort of float down along, like to get above the demon that just came down. And they're going to attack that. Well, actually, they have guns. They're going to stay up there and they're just going to shoot it with their like stun guns.
Wait, they were shooting me while they were engaged with me earlier?
No, they have a melee weapon as well. They use a maneuver to switch.
Fair enough.
Give me 1 second. All right. All right. Makes that roll and hits the guardian demon for a little bit of damage. Cool. Okay, we got a PC slot. Who's up?
How about
So they're
Axel
both-
this time? Because, he's clearly able to do it.
Yeah, they're both down here now. How far away is the other one?
From Axel?
Yeah.
Short range.
So if I engage with the second one...
You have to disengage and then re-engage. It would take 2 maneuvers.
Okay, fine. So I can't afford that. Well, I think, Axel, I want to keep the anthem going. Keep the crowd
Okay.
on my side.
Yeah.
So, so that's a maneuver. So we may as well have another blast at the one that he's already fighting with, basically.
Yeah, may as well. Hit it.
Oh, it's gonna burn. Tell you what, I think actually Axel is feeling kind of full of himself, and is actually won't mechanically disengage, but will keep the anthem going, and is going to turn around and get the crowd going, basically.
So he's not
Strut
using
about
your
a little
action?
bit. So I'm just taking the maneuver to keep the anthem going, so everyone else gets the boost, but nothing else.
Okay. All right.
Now you're seeing a maneuver to disengage from this guy that you just attacked?
Oh, I guess I can downgrade my action, can't I? Yeah, I'll disengage from him. I'll downgrade the action and disengage and strut about the stage.
All right. I think the crowd loves it. How about this? Why don't you make a leadership check?
Sure.
Hard difficulty. But I'm going to give you. I think a pair of boosts is reasonable.
Good.
You're sort of like gesturing for the crowd as like the water starts dry because the city is starting to rise again.
Mm.
And they're happy to keep rocking along, but they don't want to join you up on stage necessarily.
Fine, all right. So I haven't managed to trigger an all-out
Bum rush of the stage to
bum
swarm
rush
the
on the
demons,
stage.
yeah. But you
And
get
those
stack
advantages,
advantages.
I'll get a little bit of strain back, and then I will pass a boost to the next PC.
Okay. You can actually pass 2 boosts with 2 strain or 2
Oh yeah,
advantage.
I'll get 3 back and pass 1 boost along.
All right. Well, the pit demon goes and it instantly burns up. It only had 1 more wound in its threshold. So
Axel turns around and gets the crowd
It
going,
is
and the
really
demon
awesome.
burns
Like
behind him.
yeah, this
the
demon
flamethrower, and
burning
then
up.
just turn around as it dies in its death throes.
Best concert
Oh, that's so
ever.
cool.
Yeah, that's metal.
All right. We've got a PC slot.
Way is that guardian demon
Mm-hmm.
from like where like Allie and the pit demon were.
Maybe I should just come down and go on the offensive now.
Might be good.
Yeah. So I'm I guess spend 1 maneuver to float down, and then I think I'll go ahead and take 2 strain, and then to aim and go on the attack.
Okay.
You'll have 2 boost, 1 from the anthem and 1 from the advantage on pass.
Yep, I know. It was the Guardian Demon?
Yep. The guardian demon. The pit demon is dead.
And I'm going to go ahead and spend another story point in order to upgrade again. Another green. And with 2 boosts, this is going to look really, really awesome. Finishing blow.
I love a huge messy roll. All right, 5 damage. A bunch of advantages.
So, doesn't actually damage it?
Nope. It's got 5 smoke. Unfortunately.
Okay, but with 3 advantages, I can knock it prone again and burn it.
Yep. That you can. So yeah, it throws up its sword, but you slam through and knock it to the ground, and like the pure light of your energy bathes the demon, and it ignites in a holy flame. All right. This last NPC slot is gone. In fact, so is this one. So it's Steve's turn. You're up top. The burning demon is basically straight down below you.
How far below me is it?
Short range.
Short range? Okay.
Do it, Steve. Jump.
Yeah.
I seriously considered.
I would advise not doing that.
Hey,
I was seriously
I
considering
mean,
it.
here's a rule of cool, and worst case scenario, you pass it.
Yeah,
That demon will break your fall. You'll be fine.
Jumping with boom out and just going to try to drive this thing down into it. So maneuver and action simultaneously. If I miss, oh well. If I hit, cool.
Yeah. What we'll do is if you miss, you'll take the fall damage.
Alright, sounds good.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I'm going to give you. I'm going to spend this. I don't have any story points to spend. Oh yes, I do. I'm going to spend a story point. I have all
story points.
Yeah, I'm going to upgrade this check for you because look at it. I think you should get well, you get a boost from Anthem. You'll get a boost from your dive in terms of damage. You're also going to get a setback from your dive in terms of accuracy.
Upgraded twice.
I think it gives you
Okay.
both.
Okay, so 2 boost die, a setback, and an upgrade from your.
Well, but I think it's also an adversary. I think you clicked on your thing.
Well,
Yeah,
if
it's
you,
true.
yeah, go to the weapon and just make sure he clicks on each of the 3 elements. I think it'll work.
This guy also has defense, right?
Well, no, that should be factored in automatically.
Yeah,
Oh, it's already
I think you clicked it too early.
This is
It's upgraded twice, once for adversary and once for the destiny point. Is that right?
Correct.
So you need like one of your purples has to be a red. Beyond
Okay.
this, that's the upgrade for adversary.
okay.
Hopefully that works.
All right, let's give this a go. Hey, I like it.
That's a great roll. We love a despair. Our first one.
I succeed, and it's awesome, but consequences.
I think you perform the ultimate stage dive, right?
Yeah.
And the crowd is watching in like enraptured joy as you leap boom first from 20 feet up, diving straight down at this demon that's covered in flames because it just got smacked by an angel. And you thrust your boom right into it so hard that it explodes. The whole thing explodes. Boom explodes, the demon explodes, you explode.
Yes.
I assume that since I'm engaged a bit, that I also explode.
Yeah, I think you might also explode.
And that
Usually,
right there is how you
you
finish
get-
a show.
You get hit by the explosion, Semyaza. I think it sends you like down, like knocks you down, skidding across the stage. When the smoke clears, there is nothing but ash and burn marks where Steve and the demon had one.
No other way.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use despair to. Yeah, that's the despair. There's no more Steve.
So you're saying he died?
Yeah.
Hey man, but so did the demon, and I'm sure the stage is also has a nice little hole in it. Like I said, it's not a good concert unless someone explodes. So,
Sorry, I got it to me.
You just got knocked and took some damage, but that's the end of the concert. And I think that was really like, ultimate final moment. Yeah. Like if this were a not a one shot, I would not have killed Steve with a despair.
no, I'm totally okay with this.
But I think it's perfect for this.
Yeah, just for a one shot, it's fine.
I mean, considering I never got to activate Boom's explosive quality, that is ideal, right?
Yeah.
Goodbye, Steve.
Yeah, the crowd, like the crowd now is louder than previous. It's unimaginably deafening, and yeah, that's the finale.
Fantastic.
Over the next few days, the city gets cleaned up and repaired. Tons of Sanctum come in to help root out infestation on the city. You never get all of the. And a memorial is built to Steve, a 50-foot tin statue.
Perfect.
And it's very shiny.
Yeah, it's extremely shiny. Built to Steve for putting on the best concert in the Crucible's history. Arguably. This is a long-running debate in so Allie uses her slice of advocate for her cause and achieve some moderate reforms within Star Alliance. Semyaza leads the demon eradication effort in the city, advancing his own personal objectives. And Axel's career takes off. In fact, Dr. Housey is not upset with you. He's delighted because you've given him so much new, useful data on how to create a good concert. He needs to up the death count for sure. He knows that. But yeah, I think mission accomplished. You saved the show.
Oh, that was great.
Also exploded it.
Right.
One and the same.
Okay, that was an adventure.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was
No,
a lot of
but-
fun.
Thanks for playing. I hope you enjoyed